Welcome, friends. We start our journey with barely enough bones to make it humorous, to an entire calcium conference. Watch me bravely hide in various locations around the acts. Welcome to a story of epic characters, shocking events, melee fights where I'm not quite sure what's going on, crunching plot twists, snake-like deceptions, and cold receptions. So sit back, relax, prepare to be titillated. Now, there's a lot of options on the table for a name for this guy.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Then Jason Bone came to me in a fever dream. And now he's here to stay. I did actually get stuck with Sylvester Bone for a long time because my friends and I found that so funny. But it's not funny, clearly. So I've done very little research into this to the point where I get quite shocked that they've removed Summon Skeleton from the game, which really annoyed me. But they do have now, and I don't know if this is just RNG, but we found a Rattling Sceptre very early on. So this is it. This is the bread and butter of the run. Rattling Sceptre, when you hold it in your hand, summons these skelly boys. Now, what they've done, I believe, instead of just giving you set amount of skellies based on the level of your Rattling Sceptre, you can allocate spirit to the Rattling Sceptre, as you would with a normal skill gem. And the more spirit you allocate, the more skelly boys you can get. And of course, the higher the level of the Rattling Sceptre, then normally the higher the level of the Rattling Sceptre summon skeleton skill. And that's going to give us our damage for this run. And as you can see, the damage is extremely painful. To the point where, unfortunately, my skelly boys are getting beaten back pretty early on. And there's, unfortunately, I've got no way of controlling what they're doing. We get a little bit of early damage boost here from the minion damage part of the witch tree. And the other annoying thing is I accidentally left the music on. So normally I'd overlay music so it would feel a bit better as I cut it. You're not going to get that luxury at all. This is real amateur hour. I was just super excited to play this, to be honest. I was just playing normally and had the music on because I literally never listened to the music in a game because, of course, you have to record without the music in order to, be able to edit the music over the top. I was too excited about finding it. For some reason, I got it in my head that someone else was going to get Jason Bone as a name. I was too excited and then ended up leaving the music on. And there are periods in this video where I turn the music off completely and then turn off all audio by mistake. It's a mess. It's a mess. But it's such a good idea for a video. There's no way I'm going to be doing it again because it's also ridiculous in terms of an idea. Now, the original plan, like I said, was to have the Rattling Sceptre and have Summon Skeleton. Because Rattling Sceptre used to just give you a few extra minions, and then Summon Skeleton skill would be your kind of core, but they've seemingly combined the two into one. I get that makes sense. It was nice, the idea of having two sets of skill gems to be able to put into creatures, though. So I'm not going to be able to do that now. We're stuck with one set, and it really is based on the item. Now, I am playing on the new Val League, which means, I don't know what it's called, something of the Val, but it means that I've got loads of money at my disposal if I need it. And I don't really want to be spending loads of money, but if I need to spend like 500 gold at the beginning just to get a few little items, just to get the early game going, I think that'll be beneficial for everyone. It's going to be a long video anyway. Skeletons aren't notoriously overpowered. Wait and see. Let's wait and see. I've said that before, and it's been surprising. The only run, I'll be honest, that's been really that difficult was being punch only. The Thorns one I'd love to actually go back and do again. The main thing is going to be getting as much spirit as possible. And for one Exile, 100 spirit. Now look, we gain no inherent bonus from intelligence. But let's be honest, I'm not that intelligent when I play this game. And it means we can get 5 skellies. And to be honest, that's not nearly as many as I thought. So it looks like each one reserves 60. Oh my goodness me. So that will improve. I tried to get the stats of how it improves. I should have just written the stats down as I played the game because it simply is not clear. But your reservation efficiency does improve as your skill goes up. So even at level 2, level 3, level 4, we'll be getting a huge amount more skeletons, exponentially more skeletons than we will at the beginning, because at the moment they're as expensive as they can possibly be. And I believe at level 20, it gets as good as 20 reservation spirit. So we don't necessarily need to be stacking spirit on everything if we can get up to about 20 skelly boys. Now, they do have that respawn time. You can see in the top left, there's that timer going down. That's how long it's going to take for them to regenerate. At the moment, it's a little over 7 seconds. So when they do die, I've got to wait 7 seconds. And what I found, and I'm not sure if this is a bug or... It's definitely not a bug. It's definitely... it's intentional. It's just really annoying. So when one minion dies, if another minion dies within that time frame, the reforming minions kind of timer seems to reset. It doesn't happen all the time, so I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, the best thing I have to do is just to sit, be hit, and then wait for that timer to come through again. So we've got a little... Look, I just don't want to get aggravate too many. These rotten wolves seem to be able to one-on-one most of my skelly boys. So I don't want to aggravate the whole of this little Vaal temple. Now, one of the things I might try and play with is the idea of running in, switching skills. Do you know, I'm an idiot today, so I'm sorry about this. Switching weapons, and then be able to get exactly what we want. Skelly boys in position. It saves having to like run in position and then maybe open a portal like you would in Diablo 2. You're level 3 already, and what that means is we get this one that we bought. 44. So this is nice. It's got extra level, which means our reservation, you can see, reserves 231 there for 8. So it's already down to under 30. What is that, 28 almost? So huge amount of efficiency saving at the very beginning. We just got to work our way through these packs. To be honest, because we've had a little bit of a kickstart with that 100 spirit exalted armor, exalted armor, what am I talking about? It's unique. This is going to be long, guys, by the way. Let me have a drink. I assure you, everything about this video will improve the more I have to drink. I've actually probably had a little bit too much there. That's called overcompensating. You've ever done that at a party before? Man, I did that at a party once. It went really badly. Really badly. I ended up having to leave the party early. What I ended up doing is, I was drunk so early at the party, I ended up going home. So I know the Devourer is being fought, but actually I was really surprised how easy he's going down, which is basically how easy I went down at this party. I ended up getting like really early, leaving the party. It was super embarrassing. I sobered up almost before the evening was out, and I ended up messaging one of my friends, was like, do you want to go out? Then I went out again afterwards and got really drunk. So I'd had 2 nights in one. It was really good. I recommend it. So unfortunately, it's a very boring route up the tree, the skill tree, which I'm still on the fence about, to be honest. I'd like it, but it just never feels that satisfying. So we're working our way up the skill tree. It's very boring. It's minion damage, and that's pretty much all we're going to be pumping for the first part. And we get up to Bira the Rotten Pack. She's getting absolutely railed by these boners. Unbelievable. That is... Oh, no. I actually thought this would be really difficult. And it seems to be extremely viable. I mean, look, I'll be honest. At this point, there's an element of regret. Maybe I shouldn't have made it so easy by getting the 100 spirit armor. But, I mean, it's not unheard of, especially with the Vaal temple things, to find an exalt relatively early on. So I don't feel like I've sped ahead. But this feels like speedrun tactics. This is almost the easiest I've found the game at the beginning. I'm not even joking. Oh, I love these little figurines as well. You're real absolute goth teen in a graveyard kicking over the headstones there. No mercy. Not that I was ever a goth teen hanging around graveyards. I was too scared. Jeez. I'd rather be a goth in my bedroom. So we're looking for anything that does... Oh my goodness me. 4% increased spirit is terrible. Totems. I'd love to do a totem build, by the way. Someone tell me how that's viable from the beginning, please, and I will definitely do it. Okay. Yeah, we did. I think we got close to that when we did our wolf only run. Minions are gigantic. Okay. Minions. Okay, reduced efficiency of minion skills. So that's basically the one to go for. That's the equivalent of getting more spirit. That's a long way away, unfortunately, from where we are. The Ramborghast. Should I be even concerned? I mean, part of me wants to flex and just do nothing. They actually have a very decent ability to stun. I better move out of the way of that just in case. I have been one shot by that before. I think that was wolf only. Immediately hit and one shot. So random scepters, 445. I mean, I've got a lot of cash, as you can see. I don't want to be spending every level just spending 2k rolling really good scepters. I'm not going to do that. For the early game, I know a lot of people just find the early game a bit of a drag anyway, so I don't want to be spending all my time here. So I will just try and... I mean, I ended up being an absolute idiot trying to get spirit on my amulet, which I know is possible. But unfortunately, it's not possible at low levels. I think it's up to like level 12, even 18 by the time you start getting spirit on an amulet. So if anything, that's a little bit of a reflection of how long it took to get to this point. It is quite heavily edited. So this isn't like a breeze. This isn't 10 minutes in at this point. I was still probably like, you know, half an hour in at this point. They are still very slow to kill. And I'm also very slow at the game, as you can tell by the length of the videos. But I want to show you everything. I want to show you the full journey. The journey's what's important in life. And I'm glad to have you with me. And I'm glad to show you some skeleton on skeleton action. Sometimes you need to see bones rubbing up a bone rubbing on a bone to know that your life's complete. And now it is. And a girdle. To see a moist girdle slip down a long shaft. I don't know what to say after that. I think we're all shocked. That early on as well. We've got to there already. So we are still stuck at 8 Skelly Boys, which is a little bit annoying. I think a lot of it is actually based on our Rattling Sceptre level. So I'm not going to show you all of the kind of red lands. I don't remember what they're called at all. The red lands. I'll tell you what, I'm going to re-guess at the name of every single area. The red lands here with rusty red. I mean, the stun is very, very good. I know stun is maybe proportion of the physical damage that you do. And I'm guessing they're doing enough physical damage to build it up quite quickly. But I'm stunning every boss. I mean, I look good. I'm not that stunning. Someone noted before the Rusky, I mentioned that he looked like the overweight brother of the Pursuer from Dark Souls 2. Someone did mention that he's also wearing high heels, which I thought was very funny, and it is also true. You can't really see them there, but he's going to get stunned before we even get a chance to look at them. Just roll the video back, guys, and you'll see that he's also on his high heels. So he really has gone full. I don't know. I without getting cancelled, I don't know how to describe it, but full attention seeking. Let's just say that. Very like mum and dad. I deserve your respect too. Do you? I always end up getting the Grim Tangle waypoint here. I actually learned a few tricks. It's annoying here because I've got another run. And prior to that, I saw someone do a bit of a speed run. And there's a few little tips and tricks that I've managed to pick up of how to get through that little bit quite quickly. I don't really want to speed up this because I like Una and a little song there. I think it's very cool. But there are a few little tips and tricks to pick up. Well, I couldn't just believe like the damage output that they had with their particular hammer build. So I'm actually quite tempted to try that. One thing I'm going to ask, because a lot of people disappear in this video because fire alarms go off and you know, their date turns up, whatever else, their wife's knocking on the door saying, why are you still on the toilet? But if you guys have got ideas for videos, please let me know. Because I actually genuinely really still enjoy playing this game. I've got a Diablo 2 run coming out quite soon. I've actually got 2 Diablo 2 runs planned quite soon. The issue is I'm kind of running out of ideas for Path of Exile 2, and there are so many skills here. I'd love to do like a... Before I get into that, let's quickly talk about Enfeeble. The only reason is I'm literally doing nothing without having a skill. So there's an idea of putting Enfeeble on just so I can reduce the amount of damage that other creatures are doing. And I'm just going to spend a moment, guys. Look at this is a treat. This is water physics in an ARPG. Incredible. Looks beautiful. Hats off. So a few little kills just to get a little bit more experience. And we're up against the Rotten Druid. I don't know why he's South African, but he is now, canonically. I do not want you to get past me. Now, a lot of people say my South African accent is not very good. It's actually very good. It's a right combination of Dutch and also just very aggressive, just generally aggressive. I'll hear that back and I'll be like, damn, that's not nearly as good as I think it is. It sounds really good in my head, by the way. I'm so good at accents, I would say. But most of those are in my head and should never be done in public. A lot of them can't be done in public anymore. Am I right? Woke police? Well, that is a... See, there's the exalt. So I feel a little bit vindicated from getting that 100 spirit armor quite early on, because I could have easily bought that now. Easily. Grab that iron ring. Not sure what to do with it. Pretty certain that doesn't help. Annoyingly, a lot of things like the augment attacks, any of the runs I do, I don't get any chance to use them whatsoever. Anyway, look, we're just having a little bit of fun here with some Risen Rattlers. Interesting here, actually, Risen Rattlers. They're a lot slower than my Skelly boys. Annoyingly, this hero has got the occasional invulnerability aura, which is just such a pain. So now, of course, any attacks against them do absolutely nothing whatsoever. So it's just a really horrible, long endurance fight. But it does give me a chance to talk about some other skills. So my next video is going to be Thunderstorm only. I saw a friend playing that and it just looks so cool. So I'm sure the YouTube bitrate will destroy how pleasant that skill looks. But that should be an interesting one. But then any other ideas you guys have got for skills or interesting builds, let me know. I'm very happy to try them out. I do like a bit of a challenge. I don't need it to be particularly powerful. I found the wolf one was maybe a little bit overpowered for everyone's amusement. But yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'm always interested in people's ideas. And to be honest, I'll play any game these days. I'm really not that bothered about being too popular on YouTube. I've got, thankfully, I've got a real job. Not saying this isn't a real job, but it's more like it's extremely unreliable income kind of job. And oh my God, Draven is an absolute god of war. So Draven, I'm used to, in some of the previous videos, having a very easy time fighting him, but I need to be a little bit careful here. I've got a feeling he's very capable of doing a lot of damage to me. I don't have a huge health pool at this point. I've got to be careful of that little aura as well, because that would be pretty unpleasant. Nice to see that Skelly actually blocked his attack there. So I'm just going to be really careful not to step on those ghosts near the graves, because that's what triggered. You can see there the stats come up the top right. That's me panic pressing F1 instead of pressing 1 to heal, I think. But Draven here is doing an extremely capable job of destroying the Skelly boys with many of his attacks. And you can see there with one Skelly boy, it's really not doing... They do 8 damage each. Oh my goodness me, that was almost death. I've got to get out of the way of this. That is risky. Oh, what a dodge. Yeah, I'm playing with fire here. Not really got a huge amount of health. So it looks like... Oh, damn, I think he may have just... Oh no, he's about to get stunned. Okay, that's great timing. It'd be interesting to see if he finishes his attack afterwards. Luckily, the consort seems to be spending a lot of time... Oh wait, is he the consort? Anyway, Asinia, as she comes in, seems to be targeting me, which means I can take a lot of the aggro for those attacks. Does that sound very bassy to you? I swear something's gone wrong with my audio, by the way. But look at this for a find. +1 to level all minion skills. Incredible. That's me when I just quickly popped back to town. And that actually, +1 level, is what gets me 9 Skelly boys. I love the fact you can do this. That was a big, like, wow moment in Path of Exile 1, when you could augment things like strong boxes with your orbs. As you walk past, you just like, oh, just put an orb on there to make it a higher rarity strong box. I thought that was so cool. I always found the payoff was never really worth it, but just such a cool idea. I mean, they really are like just thinking of everything to the nth degree with this game. It's such a treat. And annoyingly, yeah, I just noticed there on the top left. So what is a little bit annoying, let's just have a quick see how good I am at crafting. A few people suggested crafting only. I mean, this is how much luck I get when I'm crafting. 8 intelligence. Allies do lightning. I mean, to be honest, do I want... No? Nah, maybe I do, actually. It's amazing, like, just having that extra level makes such a big difference. So let's have a look at Asinia. Got to be a bit careful here, because she's... her rise of the 4th moon. Oh my goodness me. I must have heard that at least 800 times now in my life. I don't think that's going to be the end of it. Oh, nice little opening there. The Skellies actually seem pretty capable. I'm sure they're only doing like 8 damage each, but there's so many of them hitting. It seems to be doing a lot more than that now. Asinia can be quite difficult. She's not difficult at all, but it looks like I'm just tanking this. Nice, very, very good. Boom. Bada bing, bada bing. Lachlann the Lost, incredible. It's my daily reminder to use that phrase more often when talking to people I love and respect. I am numb in the head. There's much to do. And there's no way I'd be able to. I'd be definitely thanked for my audition, told never to come back. Yeah, I just got such a respect for voice actors. Absolutely love it. He's brilliant, by the way. There's definitely something wrong with the bass, by the way. So apologies for anyone who's getting ear damage during this. But what is going on? That is horrible. I'm going to have to turn it down. Hold on. I'll do my best in post-processing, but you know what I'm like, guys. I'm not very good at doing any of that kind of stuff. So you're going to have to suffer through. Or just feel every hit. Maybe if I run down to the bottom of the arena, you won't hear it so much. Yeah, Lachlann is one of those guys who actually, every time the fight goes on for a little bit too long, I seem to get hit by every attack. Like this one, it slows you. Like, I dodged the first part. Should I get hit by the first part? But I'm immediately slowed and then get hit by the second part. I just need to get good. I would actually quite like to try a no-hit run. I know that sounds ridiculous. I wouldn't necessarily try and do the whole thing in no hits. I would just try and do like every area in no hits, and if I got hit, I'd start the area again. It's just disgusting, isn't it? We at least go around the corner. It's so embarrassing being caught. Look at him now. He's got a little face on, like he's a little bit pleased and a little bit embarrassed. You can't put the seed back. And he always talk about the seed. It makes me want to wash my hands. You know, I've been buying stuff from that girl. Where's she been? She's been, you know, playing with someone else's Rattling Sceptre. Anyway, we're in Vineville. Okay. I forgot I was meant to be doing that. We're in Vineville. And we're trying to stay out of trouble. I'm just going to spend a lot of time dodge rolling. I actually thought by the end of this, I don't know if it was this one, maybe this or my Thunderstorm build that I'm on at the moment. I feel like there should be a lot more of a cooldown for the dodge. And maybe that's something you can get skills to... I mean, I'm sure they've playtested this efficiently. I mean, I don't know why I'm not dodging now when I should be, but... I spam it. This is Dark Souls 3 spamming, and it just doesn't make any sense. You should just take damage every time you roll, because it would really hurt your back. Definitely at my age now. If I was in my teens, then I might be able to do 15 in a row before it got bad. But now I'm a bit further on than that. Then yeah. One and I'd feel it the next day. 5. Oh my god. Call an ambulance. So it's nice sometimes just pretending to be, I don't know, you've ever had a party where there's been a fight? Well, I keep pretending like I've been to loads of parties. But it's very easy just to not move and I wouldn't even realise you're there. Or even like on the tube when some homeless person's there just, I don't know, just methed up. You could just somehow become part of the tube. Hopefully not a part he's going to touch. Or sit on. But no, if that's the price you pay for being stealthy, so be it. So this is I have not been talking about the game nearly enough, and I apologise. Let's take this seriously now. What an incredible map, by the way. Literally all of those. I mean, I was running around a lot beforehand, but then to find all 3 of those rituals basically back to back was very, very cool. And this, you know this already. You should have an option to throw yourself off here because this fight is too long. This bit's too long. It's unnecessary. The fight's good enough. Why do you need all this preamble here? I've got like a minute of unnecessary preamble. He's taking some solid damage. I mean, I've got to say, we must be doing close to 30 damage a hit. And with 10 guys, I mean, what's that? 300 damage? I mean, there seems to be a little bit of a limitation because they don't... It's not like they stack on top of one another, which is good. It would look terrible otherwise. And they are very susceptible to any AoE damage. You can see they're just standing in that pool of... I don't know what he's got on the floor there, but... some kind of pasta sauce. And that is absolutely lethal to the bones. All that acid. And I've never really looked at these rituals before, but you are actually meant to be doing something. I mean, I've played this game a fair bit now. Nowhere near to consider myself to be anything more than amateur still, but... Ritual of... yeah, so you're actually meant to stand still and move. I mean, I'm going to have to move after... Well, it still didn't make any difference, but... I didn't realise you were meant to move and not move at certain points during this fight, but you live and learn. Yeah, but just thinking again about like a no-hit run, I wonder what would be the best class for that. What kind of skill would be useful? It would need to be something that did a lot of damage. I'm guessing not. I mean, it's going to have to be an archer, right? I've never actually done a Deadeye before, which I hear is like the everyone plays Deadeye. That's the criticism from the devs, right? You can do whatever you want as long as you don't nerf Deadeye, then everyone's generally happy because everyone plays it all the time. This is not a bad tactic either. I mean, maybe I should have turned this into a no-hit run. That would have been slightly more popular. Nice little death there as well. And this, what a reward, right? What? Oh, I haven't used it yet. That'll be the problem. What? Oh, it's the old classic turn off and turn on again. 11. Well worth it for one more Skelly. Welcome, Barry, to the team. We'll get the Sapphire Charm, of course, because we know Geonor. Count Cuckula, sorry. And look at this perfect little stone for me to hide behind. Still, I think I am getting hit by something. I really hate the zoom in this game. It's the one thing I'd change. Sort the zoom out. Give me an interview with the devs and let me confuse them with some of my requests. Just have a check on the detail of this bell. How many people have looked at the detail of this bell? 1. Love that little... I wonder what the chip in a bell's called. I bet there's a term for that. Let me look it up. Okay, I've looked it up and it's called cracked. What is interesting, though, is I did find out that Big Ben had got a crack in its bell and they left it because it kind of became its iconic Big Ben sound. I think Big Ben is actually the name of the bell as well. It's called... I think it's called Elizabeth Tower. I mean, if you ever come to London, hit me up. I'll give you one of the worst tour guides you'll ever possibly experience. It's probably the most expensive as well because you'll have to take me to every pub we walk past. Well, oh my goodness me, the damage. Could this be it? I'd love to kill this guy before the bell even gets touched. The cracked bell, as we now know, is the official campanology term. Actually, campanology might not be right because I think that's the study of ringing of bells. Oh, let's not get into it. Let's chase this bird monster down instead. Look at this. This looks great. Now, chances of me getting hit by this bell, 99. No chance. Oh dear. Well, I was lucky there, to be honest. No chance now. Look at this. Now the boys are back in. Oh, we actually might be right. Wow. There you go. A broken bell is rings twice as... Oh, never mind. But anyway, solid reward this. I'm actually not quite sure. I think we just got to get up to this area. It's more damage. It's annoying that we have to do a little bit of a segue through intelligence. Maybe it's worth getting strength or something instead. Yeah, and this... to be honest, none of this is actually very good. I mean, spell damage is not going to be useful for us. I think that might be a little temporary path for us. Just before we get into the Augen Farmlands, from the Viney Vineyards, or whatever they're called. Just thought I'd look at this tag. This is actually very cool. I'd be really interested to see if it's replicated on the other side, if it's the same. We'll have a look. I think it looks... it's not the same. I wonder if that is different from the orientation, though. Anyway, we're here. There's some dogs to kill. That's what's important. Actually, what's important is trying to work out what kind of skills I'm going to get. There's some interesting ones here that I've not used before. Grim Feast. You know, I've not used this before. Annoyingly, it reserves some spirit. It does leave remnants, which is, I mean, I'm not super sure about remnants anyway. I think it's just a chance of creatures to... Oh, nice. So it's only... I think it's only one we lose. That seems okay. So yeah, Grim Feast. I'm not sure we really got the spirit to mess around with things like vitality. I mean, we don't even have the strength for it at this point. But anyway, let's kill Vargir. Vargir is a pretty cool name. You'd never get that past the wife as a recommendation. What's that named after then? The Feral Mutt from the wheat fields of Willemdor. Nice. I tell you what, they pace that a little bit quite well, I find. The Book of Specialization, when you get like the Una's loot, and then not too far after, if you can time it at least. A few decent rewards in Act 1. It's well paced, is what I'm trying to say, in my own roundabout way. Actually, that might be a bit of an improvement. Bit of fire resist, bit of life. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. And this is a level 4. Problem is the rest of the bonuses are pretty poor. Let's get that strength going because we do need it. For skills out, just getting those early like points into strength. A little bit of strength, a little bit of dexterity does help out. Strength is always good, especially at the early game, just because it adds 10 hit points. Quite nice having these little battles here. I mean, this is the satisfaction of a summoner, is it really is a bit kind of laid back, chill. A lot of it is about your positioning. And just get the lad stuck in. And actually the damage is very, very good. I assumed I would really be struggling. And look at these guys. How many people have really had a look at that? Uruk-hai, definitely. Solid Uruk-hai vibes, actually. I love the fact they've been able to somehow temper their weapons with fire. And look, Grim Feast, I was hoping to kind of try it out. We've not lost a single minion on our way, so got no remnants. Crosses the ball, mate. Cheers. Now, the old classic tactic here is to hide in the corner, because then all the ads can't come in. Problem is, those skelly boys are bloodthirsty, so they're going to be just... Is he going to come over? Shame you can't whistle. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not sure if he's interested. Oh my goodness, okay. So this is the kind of danger, is a lot of these attacks, if you can't see them coming. That's why I found the punch, for bosses at least, train you so well. I actually didn't realise that was such a big attack there. I was pretty lucky. So there are those little archers up there, which I always forget about. I always think these are just like random occurrences, but if you look up to the top right, you can actually see them shooting down at you. So if you stay to the, presumably to the left of the arena as well, you won't get hit. Now we've done a lot of damage. We just took a lot of damage. The main issue is going to be avoiding kiting his attacks into all of my dudes, which is very, very possible for me to do. But to be honest, I thought he'd probably be one-shotting them with almost everything, and he's not. Oh, there are archers or crossbowmen on both sides. Arbalests. I have to show you guys my crossbow at some point. I got a crossbow in an antique shop. And I tell you what, I might do it as part of my Dark Souls 2 video. Because I think I was playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 at the time, and it was like, I can't let this go past me. It's in the shape of an eagle. That's all you need to know. And I bought it in an antique shop, and it wasn't cheap. And my now wife, then girlfriend, was not impressed. I had to walk around town with this giant eagle crossbow that I just bought. But this is going pretty well. I mean, I assumed I was going to be having an absolutely torrid time, and this has been fine. Oh, I actually forgot about the old loot. Quickly run back. How embarrassing. Yeah, those arbalests are really overpowered. Let's get the lettuce down. We had a Prime Minister in the UK called Liz Truss, and one of the papers cruelly said that she wouldn't last as long as a lettuce. And they had this ongoing camera of this lettuce degrading over time. She didn't last as long as the lettuce. It was one of the greatest bits of politics crossed vegetable humour. And love it. Talking of humour, look at this. Oh no! It's been ruined. I got in the way. Oh no! Who would have thought? That's not funny at all. How annoying. That's almost worth a restart. So lucky I can hide behind these little barrels and things here. I don't really like this little area here. I remember finding this quite difficult, one of my first characters. Oh, look at this. Look at that lantern. That is awesome. Man, they should have that as something you can buy in the real life shop. But yeah, I just remember maybe my first character, I died here quite a few times and I found it quite annoying. And I've never really been able to shift that. I mean, I like the way it looks, but I don't really fully understand its place in the game. It's one of those places that if they got rid of it, if they just got rid of this place entirely and therefore compressed the act, added this into Act 5 or 6, oh my god, can you imagine how long these videos are going to be, guys? Whew. I'll probably be cutting out some of these areas, like these stony walls of sadness. Just come, if you ever need ideas for a game, come to me. We've got an idea for an area. Stony walls of sadness. Thanks, Prophet. I really don't dislike those fire slingers, by the way. It's the chip damage I really don't like. One of the things I found, actually, I'm using energy shield a lot more now, is there's a lot alongside energy shield you need. The restart time of energy shield is so low, like on its own. So it's not like you can just pump health, you know, and regeneration. You have to pump like energy shield and then regeneration and then recharge time, all that kind of stuff. Not quite as satisfying as I thought. I've always wanted just to do like a chaos inoculation build, but I've never really ever got that far in the game. I've never really planned a character that well. Probably shouldn't be admitting that now. I've immaculately planned this run, of course. Nice skill gem level 5. I've got nothing to spend this on, by the way. Ray Zombie. I think if I did that, you guys would be a bit disappointed. Pain Offering. Skewer a skeleton on a bone spike. Okay. I'm interested. Tell me more. 28% increased damage. Wow, that seems really good. Let's give it a go. So yeah, that's really good. We'll see how it works, of course. We can give it a few little extra skills that we've got, skill gems. Oh, Vile Ruins. Let's just put them anywhere. So, that's actually not a bad little row we've got. I'm not going to do it, but we'll place the rooms and then get out of here. Love this little bit here. Really reminds me of Bloodborne. I will play it on the channel probably this year, but really reminds me of Asefka's Clinic, is it? Where you kind of knock on the door and you hope it's Asefka. Well, I'm not saying anything else, but well, those that know Bloodborne and know who Asefka is know that it might be her or it might be Patches pretending to be her. I think it's Patches. Anyway, it's definitely potentially a ruse, but I remember it being quite big when someone like, I don't know, unlocked the area or what do they call it? Boundary broke the camera to see what she looked like. And I was like, oh wow, big news. Back when Bloodborne was relevant. So I've read the Psalm of Madness, and madness has overcome. So that unfortunately the bone totem offering pillar that I've got is very weak. Unfortunately, it's made of balsa wood. Maybe it's a little bit of positioning. If I position it at the back there, we might get a little bit more value out of it. That seemed to work pretty well. I mean, if it's 28% more damage, at least it kind of gives me something to do during this as well. Oh, wow. One survivor. That's a very, like, weird animation, that. Feels weirdly stunted, like it gives you a little bit of time to know it's happening, and then it suddenly happens a little bit too quickly. Yeah, although we've been having a little bit of a laugh so far, At least I have. I would say I'm a little bit concerned about the survivability of minions, and the last thing I want to do when I know the damage is going to start tailing off too is having to invest points into minion health. A lot of, I mean, you could almost do this with just a Rattling Sceptre and nothing else in any other slot. I mean, of course, the spirit helps massively, but so much of it, you can get a huge amount of spirit from your... See, there it was again, just feels a little bit weird. But yeah, the Sceptre is just so important, and you get some very, very decent ones. I think the value of stuff in the... There should be, you know, like an automatic, you have overpriced this item. Because there's so many people selling stuff for like 1 Exalt, and then someone sells almost the same item for 9 Divines and so. Just... The thing is, if the level of Rattling Sceptre is Skeleton's level 9, then you can't be charging that much for it, because it's always going to be worse than... Even if it's got decent stats on it. Anyway, rant over. That's just the kind of rant people have when they're poor, and I've just had it. Why is everything so expensive, man? That is true though. I don't know if it's just me getting older, but I'm wealthier now technically than I've ever been before, and I'm still feel poor. So how does that make any sense? You used to be able to get a pint of beer for about £2 in the UK, which for Americans is... I've got no idea. Maybe like $3. Maybe it's like €3 to $70, because the pound is so weak these days. So it used to be like maybe you could get the equivalent of like $2.50, you could get a pint of beer. And now, honestly, I've paid £7, £8 for a pint of Guinness. What is going on? I would expect to get like a free t-shirt with that. And I expect it to be a good one as well. I mean, even then, if I was allowed to keep the glass, I'd be like, nah, it's too much. Anyway. Count Geonor, Count Cucula as we call him. Unfortunately, every single swing of his sword is about 50% of the health of my skeletons by the looks of it. Unless he does his super slashy move, which looks to be an instant kill. Am I confident about being able to beat this guy without dying? My god, that is incredible. That is bone-shatteringly awesome. That looks so good. Cinematic. End of Series 1. Oh, do you not imagine the hype if they made a TV series of this game? Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my god. I wonder how popular I'd need to be to get a bit part. Do you reckon I'd have a... Well, I'd almost like... I need to be making a character now that's so iconic that when it comes to them, I'm like, oh, you know, I don't think Liam Neeson's going to get past the... Yeah, Jason Bourne as well. I mean, I'm not helping myself here. We'll see. We'll see. I need to make... Help me think of an iconic character so I can get into the... get a bit part in the real-life adaptation. Yeah, I think this game would actually translate really well to a series as well. It's got all the kind of Game of Thrones-ish hallmarks. It's incredible fantasy at the same time. It's got a great like overarching storyline, which is pretty cool. There's loads of like homage you could do to both games. It would massively hype up the series, of course. Yeah, I mean, if I think of what they've done with things like League of Legends, I mean, I appreciate that probably got quite a few million more concurrent players, but it'd be great if this game could get to those kind of heights so we could have series and stuff like that. And then I could finally get a role on the big screen next to Jason Bourne and Liam Neeson. Thorny Bjornsson. Maybe Thorny Bjorny is the character I play. I'd probably get a chance to play like would it be like the seed cleaner upper in Act 1? Boiled, warted, seed cleaning peasant. I'd happily be a skeleton, to be honest. I'd dress up as a skeleton. I dress up as Skeleton and just hand out drinks, to be honest. I thought about that with 40k. Henry Cavill's 40k that's coming out. I'd be like, I do like 40. I don't love it enough, so it would be very cheap if I ended up like trying my hardest to get some extra work on that. Not that I'd be able to, guys. I've never done it before, but this is the kind of nonsense chat. Once I've had a drink, I'll be like, yeah, I could be a really good extra on 40k. I'd make a great. Oh, I mean, I'll be like then trying to guess like a unit. I'd make a great Lizardman warrior. I'd be like, dude, that's not 40k. Yeah, well, it's all part of the same. What? I actually do have a Death Guard army that's largely unpainted, but mostly assembled. But yeah, I like painting more than acting. I think Henry Cavill does as well, by the way. So, am I ever going to get hit by that meteor kind of attack again? I don't think so. I think he's just got too much of a tell. Now, unfortunately, he has some insanely accurate attacks. This AoE is crippling my Skelly boys. We do have him knocked down there, but we just don't have the guys around. We don't have the manpower to make the most of that stun. And this is really slow. I think maybe I'm just used to having so much more DPS. We are actually getting quite a few Grim Remnants as well. I'll speed this up because not a huge amount happened there, other than a lot of different cycles of and then us having to go through it. It got a bit spicy, I'll be honest. Is there a doubt at this point? I think at this point I doubted myself. I was like, it feels risky. It feels like I'm taking a lot of damage. I mean, I'm going to get hit by every one of these. It's not like I edit this to make myself look worse. Someone was quite cruel about that in one of my videos. They're like, oh my god, you get hit by everything. I'm like, I do kind of make it fun to watch, and it's not fun to see me like playing well, in my opinion. But anyway, he's gone. Another dick in the mud. Never trust a woman. So this is Carrion Call. Incredible item. So we've got extra mana energy shield, which we want, but the main thing is minions have got increased life. Minions have got increased damage. Minions' resistances are equal to Moise. And that is pretty cool. Oh, that's a cool item as well. It looks good. But yeah, the incredible thing is, so I think minion resistance is going to be an issue. But if they're the same as mine, I'm going to be stacking my own resistances anyway. So I feel like that item might be end game already. Solid little Rattling Sceptre leveling up. To be honest, I think I'll probably get rid of Grim Feast. I can't be bothered with it. A, I can't be bothered. And B, I'd rather have more lads. So look, I'm going to take this moment to ramble on about some skeleton-based movies. Harryhausen, of course, Jason the Argonauts is incredible. But if you haven't watched The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which you can actually find on YouTube, by the way, very easily, you need to watch it. It's so good. There are some incredible fights in it. I mean, I love that stop-motion animation style anyway. Who wouldn't? And Jason the Argonauts, of course, is very heavy, scaly themed. But I was like, actually, a lot of people might not have heard of that. And I think there's another Sinbad film as well, which is maybe more popular. But that is a very, very decent film, and it's just a great watch. And some of the fight, it's just, yeah, I'm not going to ruin it, but it's on YouTube. If you've got some spare time and that's kind of up your alley, then I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I'm going to encourage you. I'll watch it with you. Here we are. We find ourselves up on the escarpment, trying to avoid being shot. I mean, look, the guys, just in this corner, please. Maybe if I just pull everyone down here. Nah, they're not interested. I mean, to be honest, Wrathbreaker isn't interested either. Hello? Hello, Wrathbreaker? Hello? Hello? Here he is. Showing off his speed moves like a 5-year-old. Do I need to move? I think the issue we have here is we've probably got about 5 skeletons actually doing any damage. And the others are just watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I wasn't too far off with 5 or 6, yeah. If we can get him just to move just a tiny bit. Oh my god, the other skellies. What are you doing? One of the issues I have with this build, and I don't really want to be using things like Infernal Cry all the time with every build because it's such a good skill, is I don't have any AoE at all. But that's a much better position. You can see how much more damage you're doing now. Everyone's kind of involved. If we can find a little moment just to get that set. He's really intent on killing me, by the way. I mean, now we stunned it. I'm not sure we're really going to need it, but yeah, I mean, that is definitely a lot faster when you get that totem up as well. Nice, that offering. Sorry, totem will be something different. And look, there's no experience from killing any of these guys, so don't spend the time. And look, as soon as we get to the Mawdun Mines, wait, what should I call them? The creepy caves. As soon as I went to the creepy caves, I found these boxes and I thought, is that for an animal's head to stick out of? There's another one over here. But then I'm like, what are that? It's like a magician's box where you put your arms through and your legs through and put your head out the side. Anyway, love it. This would be my dream, by the way. I think this is the kind of creature that I could fight with my friends in a mine and actually get money for. If I was like an adventurer in this kind of, well, like he's the kind of, he's creepy and horrid. He's got those horrible, yeah, but you could block that with a decent shield and someone could like shoot it with a bow and yeah, we'd have that. We'd have you, mate. It's the old classic, I don't know if it's just a boy thing, but could I beat it in a fight? These giant guys, nah, no chance. My skellies can, but not me, mate. So we've been working our way into this little loop just to get that extra resistance for my guys. I realise now, of course, there's no point doing that because they're not going to benefit from that whatsoever. I think the one part they do benefit from is the maximum resists, but of course their resists are my resists, so unless my resists are all going up by 5%, and they are at that level where they can get to 80%, then that's a completely redundant skill. So I apologise on behalf of all skeleton people around the world for having to suffer my idiocy. Roger, the Dread Engineer, realised taking quite a lot of damage quite early on. No, honestly, no drama at all. Didn't get hit once, as you can see. Myself cracking through this quite comfortably, actually. Act 2's normally quite good fun in games. You know what I mean? Well, to be honest, I do feel like the more I've played Path of Exile 2, this is going to be hard for some of you to swallow, by the way. Cracks now showing in Diablo 2 have become maybe slightly more obvious. I started playing it and I'm like, I'm not sure about this anymore. I mean, look, I love the kid. I love it. I've been playing it for so many years. It's not like I'm ever going to stop, but I do find there's so much newness to Path of Exile 2 that is a lot of fun. Got a little bit of hate in my Discord for playing Path of Exile 2 so much, but it's just it's so new and it's so exciting. There's so many boss fights and stuff and equipment, and it's so much I don't know, and that's part of the fun of the game, right? It's discovering it slowly. So that's part of the reason why I'm not like rushing into doing maps and stuff. I know that it's very easy just to put 300 hours into one character and just see everything possible, but I don't want to spoil it. Hopefully this game will be around for, 30 years, so I don't necessarily feel the need to see everything right now. Slowly uncover it. Maybe I should be trying to do more of the season events, but there you go. That's just me. I like doing Rattling Sceptre only builds. Just pointing out a little cove there. Interesting little map generation. Stink laugh. Oh, can you imagine? Great sense of humour, though. Oh, nice. A little emerald there. I find this is always quite a 15% evasion rating. That's actually not too bad. It feels pretty bad. We're up against Jamanra. We know Jamanra well at this point. We've fought him about 3,000 times in this act. Am I concerned? A little bit. It's got a bit of a snap to his attacks. Oh wow, okay, damn, dude. Calm down. Well, we're getting hit by everything as well. I think we really are. Okay, we need to be a little bit careful here. I actually do quite like this arena to fight in. Sometimes when the arenas are quite big and silly, I don't need it. It being this enclosed is a challenge, but it also means I can't accidentally go too far to be able to see what's going on. It's a super cool little environment. We're doing a decent amount of damage here as well. I don't like this fight at all. I think it's actually quite a stupid one. Whoa, that is a cool attack though. I like that with the fact with that you can manage to escape if you get to the other side of the arena in time. I like it when games give you a little bit of accommodation like that. I don't hate the idea of more gimmick fights, by the way, like Benedictus. And if people hate them, then make the rewards crap. Make the rewards really stupid. But yeah, things like, oh, you need to move into different parts of the arena quickly. Things like I don't know. I like that. Okay, it makes things fresh and different. Maybe it's me. Maybe everybody at university hates stuff like that. But I thought the Benedictus fight especially was very cool for it. So we're finally up to Bind Spectre. So this is cool. Capture the spirit of a defeated monster. Now I definitely should be getting vulnerability, but I'm not. Gonna get this because we could get a whole other army. It's 50 spirit though for these Risen Maraketh. Maybe we should just I don't know, 50 spirit. Maybe just for the memes. So we have got it now. We need to unlock the spirit, unfortunately, which is going to be painful now to reduce our... I need a lot more than that. Oh my god, I've only got 46. This is maybe more expensive than I want it to be. Down to 9. All to get this skeleton. Oh, what? I've got a crossbow skeleton by mistake. This is really annoying. Is it always crossbow? Oh, what have I done? Is there any way of resetting this? No, it wasn't. I was just an absolute moron. I should have been a bit more careful. The issue is any of the skeletons in the actual game are really slow versus my like cocaine skeletons. We can get Brutality 2, which is going to be a little bit more fun than Brutality 1. And Double Relic as well, although one of them seems to just go back to its home planet when the other one gets picked up. Yeah, Fear Eyes here as well. Quite like this. Quite like that little name. Anyway, we're back with our 12 Angry Men. That's a good movie as well. I know that's high up on IMDb, but for any of you that haven't seen 12 Angry Men, it's a very, very good movie. Anyway, let's just add a little bit of extra damage into the mix while we've got it. I still hate the fact that I've got that elemental resists node, but you can't stop stupid being stupid, guys. And this is clearly too easy for me at this point anyway. This particular fight, especially with Liam Sneeson, I was pulling my hair out. Oh, actually, the same with Thorny Bjorny. It was so difficult with Thorns because of old Ikatab, the Death Lord, and this mana shield. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was almost the end of the run, for those that remember. For those that have seen it. If you've not seen it, you know what you're doing after this. You're going to watch the Thorny Pacifist, my Thorns Only run. My Do Nothing run. Now, do I want to kill anyone? To be honest, there's no way of controlling my guys. I'm just gonna let them do what they want to do. I don't think it really matters. The damage we're doing is clearly sufficient to pass this, assuming that I'm not going to just run into a charge attack from a Mastodon Tusk. Your turn, Mastodon. Something we've all shouted in anger. But yeah, the importance of killing the mage first, then being left with this guy cannot be understated, because it's so much easier. What is Orb doing? Can't quite decide what to do. It's kind of trying to make a decision. It's changing its target all the time. Is it controlled directly by some poor guy in the Grinding Gear Games office right now? Poor guy. Bell Echo. I'm going to try it out because I've not used it before, and we've got vulnerability at last. We've got the skill gem, and let's cook up some Kabala. Let's get some Kabala cooking. Have I eaten snake before? I have. It was okay. It was actually, what was that, crocodile? Very fishy. Both quite fishy. Fishier than you'd want. When people say a lot of meat tastes like chicken, snake does not. I'd be wrong here. I can't remember. I can't remember. I've definitely had crocodile before, and it was very fishy. You know, it's super rainy outside. It's like a storm outside. I'm so glad I'm in here doing this video instead of I don't know why. There's no reason I'd be outside in the middle of the night, but I'd much rather be eating a snake. Kabala bala bing bong. About to get stunned by the looks of it as well. This fight, do you know, I know it quite well. The issue is a lot of it's unavoidable. So I can avoid a lot of this. When she does a lot of her attacks, she disappears for a time and gets her shield back, which is a pain. Actually, that's some decent damage we've done there. That little like bone armor part is really frustrating because that really slows down. And this bit, it's these minions. This is like the game ender. Because if you get surrounded by those in what is quite an awkward arena, really. At least it is for me. But this bit, I mean, again, maybe I'm getting a little bit bored of how well I know these fights. I'm not even going to move. I'm going to move. I want that book. I want the book more than I want to look cool. But all I'm going to do with those points is put some more into minion damage around that little circle. I think there's 2 more points there. And we'll get the Topaz Ring, I think. Why not? And let's find ourselves slicing up Azarian. The son that nobody wants, honestly. Oh, that looks so cool. This is a great looking fight, I've got to say. Let's boost everyone's fire resistance, by the way, by putting on my other fire resist ring, which I just happen to have knocking around because I'm such an incredibly intelligent player. I think we've already stunned as well. The stun is good. I mean, I wouldn't want the stun to be any more powerful, but it does feel a little bit underwhelming when you go to all the effort to stun someone and you only get about 3 seconds from it, but it is pretty good. Watch me get hit by every single attack now. I'm also knocking down a lot of these little lanterns as well. It's causing a lot of floor damage. Fortunately, because my guys have got such high fire resist, because of my foresight, it doesn't look like they're getting rinsed by the attacks too much. Oh, another little stun as well. Yeah, the damage isn't great. Maybe a lot of that is because we haven't got enough dudes at this point. By the time we take like 5 or 6 of them out, we've also got our bone spike, our bone offering, which unfortunately uses up a skeleton every time. So by the time I kind of have to get that in the mix, we're already down, you know, 5 or 6. By the time we get that stun in, sometimes it's just not good enough. But actually very, very stunnable. Oh, Mummy will be pleased that he's gone. And what better fate for anyone than being turned into a skeleton? Very handsome skeleton as well. And this is cool as well. Finding things like this is like, oh wow, this just feels so cool and interesting. What is this going to be? I realised it was the old classic 6 times. 6. I'm going to just clear the area around either side. That makes the most sense, I think. Wow, the storm is really picking up outside, by the way, like you care. Just in case this is my last ever, in case within the storm I'm able to finish this voiceover and then upload it just in time for the storm to consume me. I thought this might be my last will and testament. Yeah, I don't think anyone needs to kill the same thing 6 times. So what's he got? We'll see what he gets every time he dies, which is going to be pretty soon. Magma barrier hasted, lightning mirage. I mean, some of these things are pretty useless by the looks of it. He periodically enrages. Amen. Don't we all? That's not a bad one, actually. Periodic enragement is actually quite a decent boost of damage for them. Hopefully the drops get better every time. Damage taken from minions first. Ah, rip. Bad roll, my dude. That is not great. Nice Chaos Orb as well. That's decent. So it's just good for shopping sometimes, having a Chaos Orb. Hinder Aura. I don't think that's going to be very useful for you, mate. I think the Hinder... They do look like they're attacking slightly slower. Maybe it's just movement speed, though. Are we done? Once more? Periodic fire explosions. Ah, come on. Not bad, but I've still got both my fire rings on, dude. So you really have Fear Stink the Menacing. Oh dear. Let's be honest, if you name your child Fear Stink, they're not going to become a doctor, are they? This is interesting. I mean, look, I love this little part so much. Because, you know, to be honest, it's amazing that the game can cope with this many creatures on screen at the same time. What do we want to do at this point before we... Minis a 20% increase area of effect. What if that affects attacks? I think we might be better off just heading up here. Getting some more increased attack speed. 5% increased attack speed isn't anything to be balked at too much. It looks like they're ignoring the bone offering. I mean, they are... This is how many skeletons I want, by the way. By the end of this video, I'll be disappointed if I don't have at least 120 skeletons. Now, I'm just going to have to hang back here and hope that all of them res around me. Oh, that's so cool when that happens. It actually feels a little bit like Dynasty Warriors. Fortunately, I'm just not attacking. When you've got all of these dudes fighting all these other dudes. So I've never really played a Dynasty Warriors game properly. Maybe I should just go and buy one. Somebody recommend a good Dynasty Warriors game, and whether it gets boring as quickly as I think it does. But I've played the demos to death, and I really enjoyed them. That's a long time ago, though. So we've gone big. Wow, I tell you what is expensive. But here he is, the man of the moment. That is one big skelly boy. I like the idea of having one absolute chungus. This is Gary. Gary's the slowest. Oh, he's got a nice little teleport move. I mean, his DPS is going to be so bad because he's so slow. We'll have to keep Gary with us for a little bit of time. It doesn't, you know. His mum said we have to look after him for the day. So he's got terrible dyspraxia as well, by the looks of it. So this could be a long one. Could be a long one. But his mother's going to be very grateful. So it's just, we're giving back. I mean, he looks like he's doing some decent damage. I'm pretty certain that he isn't. Well, he looked like he might have done... I don't know. If it was a bit cheaper, I would love just an army of Garys, by the way. That would be incredible. Now, some of you might be saying, Gary isn't in the spirit of a Rattling Sceptre only run. And that... Put yourself in... This is what I think, by the way. These are my emotions. Oh, these are horrible, actually. Imagine coming across this just in the wild. I'd love to do some like exploration and find stuff like this. It'd be so cool. I think I'm quite easily scared by stuff like that, and that's part of why I want to do it. So we've got the anvil. I mean, to be honest, we may as well put it on. Block chance. I mean, none of this is really useful, but there's a bit of life and movement speed, so maybe we'll just do that. Just for that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice just putting something on. But yeah, I'd love to do some proper exploration. I saw a really good video recently. Yeah, I think life. Just before I talk about something completely random, maybe get a little bit of strength. I think there's some areas we definitely need to head to on the skill tree. That is, not through the axe. But yeah, this is actually the first previous season, like abyss, that we've seen almost the entire game so far, which is pretty cool. I actually really like it as a mechanic. I don't know if I mean, Gary seems to be enjoying himself. I've got a strong feeling he's going to fall down that hole. His mother will not be pleased with that. To be honest, I don't imagine it's the first time he's fallen down a hole before. A bit like Togal, right? Nice little bit of loot as well. Let's get that ancient seal. But yeah, I saw a video recently of a guy, maybe it was just some, I don't know, ghost sighting in some moor in, maybe it's in the Lake District somewhere. And I just thought, oh man, I'd absolutely love to do that. Go ghost hunting somewhere. I don't believe in ghosts, just to clarify, but I would love them to be real. Because if they were real, I'd be hunting them. And so cool. I think Gary's the only one who's probably strong enough. He might be an idiot. He's very strong. Come on then, Gary. I don't know how much longer I want Gary with us, to be honest, because it does feel like he might be helping us cheat. I think it probably is a DPS reduction having him with us. I mean, he did, what, 250 damage then by the looks of it? He attacks so slowly as well. So I'm pretty certain he is gimping us. Oh, he actually died. Oh, damn. I'm not texting his mum. You're going to have to do that. No, he probably just fell off. He's probably climbing his way back up now. There he is. He's back again. Yeah, this is a very cool fight, by the way. I wish they had a lot more massive creatures in this game. Massive creatures, moving arenas. There's a lot they could do. Like, think about the caravan bit at the end of this. Imagine if you had to move to different parts of the caravan before they exploded or whatever. I mean, people would hate it. I'd love it. So yeah, my strong recommendation: alienate your core audience. These player base is so passionate. Oh, actually, it's worth just having a look at the hand that comes out of his helmet there. That is cool. That is a really cool feature. That's the kind of I love it. I love this game. There's so much to love about it. For those that be like, oh, Path of Exile. The problem with Path of Exile is you've got just shut up. We've seen this man. There's a giant whose hand is part of his helmet that lasers come out of. I mean, that as a sentence is such a what a time we live in to be allowed to say something like that. Yeah, it's just cool. This is just cool as hell. This game. I understand why ARPGs get especially because Path of Exile 1 is, I mean, they've just treated you so well. Those people who love this game so much, they treated you so well on that game. You're spoiled now. Absolutely spoiled. I see some real spoiled, entitled people in the comments. So if that's you, sometimes you need to take a break from a game that you love, okay? Come back to it. Fresh idea, new perspective, try a different build. You don't need to meta it all the time. Just enjoy. If you struggle to actually enjoy the game because things annoy you too much, you've got to practice stoicism, get gaming with me. Get on the Discord, drop me a message, drop me an email, say, let's have a game. Very happy to do it. I will teach you frustration. Look at this. If you didn't know you could roll up on there, I feel sorry for you, bro. Monsters. So there's some good ones here. You and your minions deal 50% more damage. Wow. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm cracking through the trials to the point where we're already at the floor boss. I thoroughly recommend, by the way, because I do think this is a really absolute bone meal. This whole honor system here. I hate it. But if you're a few levels too high, then you can just whip through this so easily. Get Gary out. Get Gary out of his cage. Get him to fall on people, stomp on people, and put him back in the cage before the Rozzers come. That's slang for police, by the way. Solid death there as well. That's the way I want to go, by the way. In case there's anyone who can make that happen. So look, there's a few different options for us here. Blood Mage. To be honest, I don't really need this that much. Blood Mage seems to be a little bit about leeching and spell damage. The leech itself, I mean, none of this I love. There's energy shields. This is probably the one I want, though, that Crystalline Factory. I mean, there's interesting ones about Unholy Might, which is some extra chaos damage. But I think I'd need at least 2 levels there because you need to get the mana from the other side as well. There's an explosion when they die as well. Yeah, I mean, it's the only one off the 3, really, that have got any great benefit to us. Not a great benefit. And to be honest, I'll admit I didn't immediately choose. So I was like, what do I? This deliberation is the death of any decision making. That's a really stupid saying, by the way. Don't ever repeat that. Yeah, just be better. You can repeat that. Just be better. It's like a Temu kind of Nike knockoff. Now, for whatever reason, you might be like, he's edited this wrong because he's doing this fight again. What to do it again? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, it didn't register the fight properly. It was really weird. And I was like, well, actually, I don't hate the idea of doing it again because I've got Gary now, and he's really strong and tough. He's a bit of a talisman for the team at this point. I've got a feeling his mum's going to have to pick him up quite soon, though, because she gets worried about him if he's out too long. He technically is old enough to be prosecuted as an adult. Yeah, well, the rest of us are fine. The rest of us still be tried as a juvenile. And that was very... I mean, look, compare that to the first time we fought him. That seemed very efficient, right? I'm pretty certain that wasn't all Gary, but part Gary. This is a rubbish part of the fight as well. What's the point in that? Just fly off. See you later. I feel like we could jump on top of that from there. I don't know why they don't make this sound a little bit more... We all know what it sounds like. I'm not sure. I think we'll probably change that every single time until we get something just right. I actually thought this was a boss fight here. It's not. Dead skeleton. The worst thing for the boys to see. What a morale drop. What a real mess here as well. And this was really sad. Little half skeleton on the ground there. Wonder what happened to him. Gary, please, Gary. I'm trying to hold a memorial service for old Ricky Two Ribs. Gary, God, so disrespectful. You can't take him anywhere. Talking of getting anywhere, found some interesting spots here. I don't know what it was. I just seemed to be clipping through the areas a lot worse than usual. Maybe I was being a little bit more sprite-like. Spry? I think spry is what I meant, not sprite-like. God. Anyway, I found this absolutely legendary Rattling Sceptre. Significant boost up that. Annoying that we have to put our gems in every time. But it could be worse. We could still be in Act 1. We could be stuck on Geonor. And look at this, the bones of... Look how expensive they are. 10 exalts! I mean, look, that might not be a lot to you, but my God, that's like a month's rent for me. So 10k. I mean, look, this is big money stuff. Annoyingly, it's corrupted. I hate it when people do this. They just corrupt anything they put their hands on, just in case. Oh, just in case. Doesn't mean anything to me. Well, it means something to me for it not to be corrupted. But look at that, up to 15. We're in Act 2. We're gonna have 50 by the end of this. I hope so. And wow, look at this lovely little drop here as well. Ali's gift. Antidote charm. That's cool. Grants you I mean, look, pretty normal, but for whatever reason, you just get a little bit of life and mana recovery. Just the nice to have. I think it's probably the most underwhelming unique in the game, but hey, someone's got to find it. What a disappointing little loot box that was. And Togal. The Togal, as I found out from, like, I think it may have even been from the speed run that I saw on, like, Awesome Games Done Quick. Someone recommended it to me, and it was a good watch. I don't think I've seen the whole thing yet, but it is really, really good, and I've watched this. But there's something about, like, they've taken all the bodies. I'm guessing from, like, the lore of the game that they keep taking all the blood and the guts from people. I think it's mainly the blood in order to feed this beast creature, but they're leaving a lot of the bones behind. Great for me. Also great for Togal, who suddenly ends up being created from the bones of all these other creatures. Part of the lore for those people who like just... for those who like not knowing it, I've just forced you to learn some of it. That's horrible, isn't it? And now you're stuck with it. I love that move, by the way. Absolutely awesome. But much like... this is actually Gary's uncle, which is all a bit embarrassing. That's why Gary couldn't turn up for this particular fight. Cranking in more and more damage. Do we need more damage? I'm not sure if we do. I actually do wish we were doing a little bit more damage. It doesn't look like we can... It doesn't look like we can hit him from every angle, but sometimes they're choosing not to attack him from every angle, so it's a little bit weird. We are losing them every time he does his slam attacks as well, so just gotta hope he doesn't do it in the mass that's next to me right now. And this flaming attack, I mean, to be honest, is that really a problem? Oh, it is actually for my energy shield. So yeah, let's be a bit cautious. The slam attack will track us. It looks like most of the other attacks we can kind of just get hit and heal through, my old classic style, right? Nice for him to have learnt magic on the job already as well. I hate this little effect here. I think it looks terrible. I get why they've done it. It doesn't look good. Looks a bit cheap and crap. They should have like pillars just come up, not those little like little whirlwinds or whatever. We are cracking through Togal. I mean, having 15 guys here is clearly a massive effort. We are losing a lot of guys. Probably don't want to be spending too much time standing in his sick, by the way, because that is going to be a death sentence for everyone. It's nice in a way that you... I mean, this is going to sound strange. It's nice in a way that you can't necessarily direct him. But wait, I don't mean him. I mean the skeletons. If you could be like, there's a special command to make your skeletons move out of the way of attacks, this would be the worst video to watch in the world, because I'd be getting them hit by everything. Negative micro is my speciality at this point in my gaming career. Oh god, that could have been incredible. If that had killed me, I would have just clapped. I would have uninstalled, I would have clapped. It was never going to hit me, guys, but I would have uninstalled and clapped. Down he goes. And look at this. Actually, a pretty good angle there. I'd love to get a better view of this guy. See what his face looks like. But we should be fighting one of those. They've got the whole thing animated. Why am I not fighting that? And also riding it? Maybe... Oh no, that's a terrible idea. I'm going to stop with these really, really bad ideas. I don't even know what game that would work in, but I'm not even going to say it. Okay, I'll say it. The idea is that, like, you have like side-by-side giant iguanodons. 75 lightning resist. Here's me thinking I'm about to go into the boss fight, by the way. Because I'm such a noob. I'm showing you all my equipment before I go in. And then I realise, oh, it's actually not... What is that little tendril? Looks like a severed iguanodon. I won't say it. Rattling Sceptre. But the idea of like side-by-side iguanodons, but you can like hit the enemy or you can hit parts of the iguanodon. But that feels like that's a stupid idea. But you can get a little bit of an idea of his face. A little bit of a Urukai cosplay going on. Looks pretty cool though. Completely chill with the idea of there being a giant burning, you know, huge pile of burning bodies that of course is going to completely suffocate him. But no. I think this area is pretty cool, by the way. I'm guessing these are like, we've got the blood, so we just get rid of the bodies at this point. This is actually pretty cool. Like, once you get a little bit of idea of what they're doing in each of these acts and how, especially in Act 3, it just escalates so much. It is very cool. It is very cool. The Beast. Oh, nice. Little find. And now, finally, we are actually where we need to be. So, of course, 75 lightning resistance for me. Is 75 lightning resist for you, friend. So, is there anything we can do with this? We could get a new and improved Gary. No, we're not going to do it. It feels a little bit like cheating. I don't want people to be like,
it's not a Rattling Sceptre only because Gary was there the whole time.
So, we don't want Gary. We don't need him. We don't want him. We love him, but you know, there's some friends you like. He's fun, like when you're out and about, but you don't want to be stuck. Like, he's fun with other friends, but you don't want to be just the two of you, like, at the end of the day. Like, what should we do now? We're like, well, isn't it time for you to go home? Anyway, Jamanra the Abomination. Again, how's it going? I think okay. I think we are struggling to get a pillar, like a bone offering down, because he's just got so many AoE attacks and those lightning things. Now, what is going on? Oh my god, that is so annoying. I've never had it that she's been that far up the top before. This is a stupid mechanic. The worst thing about that is that's the first time I've died. Ugh. So I'll skip to the point where we were just then. This ridiculous... This is where she always does this part of the fight, by the way. The fact that she just suddenly decides to do it somewhere else is so annoying. I really thought this would be deathless, honestly. And then I could brag about it. Oh, it's just so typical. This is what happens when you talk badly about Gary. This is the kind of karma that comes your way. I mean, look at the damage now. We're doing about 1,000 a second. I mean, maybe not a second, but at this point, definitely, like, we're being stunned and having all the lads around. We definitely need to try and get a bone offering up, but I'm probably better off just letting the damage tick past than trying to avoid the lightning damage of these like tracking little totem things. But to be honest, with 75 lightning resist, my bony boys are actually doing fine. I didn't realise that the second stage happened quite this soon either. I wonder if there's an element of RNG of that. It definitely happens when you hit a certain percentage. There are certain boss fights, I'm sure, in the Dark Souls games when it kind of triggers at a certain point, but it can be relatively random. And sometimes you can be really lucky, like second stage of the fight, which is always for harder, can happen so much later in some runs and a lot earlier in others. I'm not loving this, by the way, in terms of an arena to fight. It's always very busy. I mean, these... Oh my god, those attacks. One shot as well. Now, luckily, I'm an absolute expert in dodging all these attacks, because I've had to punch only this guy. It took so long. So I'm not going to get hit by any of this at all. So no need to worry. Especially this attack. No chance. It's a very cool fight. I mean, I don't love it. I really, really loved it with Thorns, by the way. This was so, so good. The first part of this fight with Thorns was so difficult. And the second part, just nothing but pleasure. And again, I just showed what it would be like if I would get hit by it. And I've edited in my life bar going down there just for people to realise what it would look like if I got hit by something like that. Vulnerability going down, you can see losing 268 armor. That's not a huge amount, to be honest, at this point, but it should help the damage output. Well, unfortunately, we're in the you're going to get hit by everything stage of the fight now, which means that this is inevitable, that every time I roll to dodge something, I'll still take the damage. Luckily, I seem to be far enough away for him not to really be bothering with a lot of these attacks. Okay, I spoke too soon. We definitely got to be careful. Oh, that's a risky one to get sliced by. That is an absolute head chopper, that. And that is a dreadful dodge, that as well. I do find sometimes being in melee is a lot easier than being ranged. The tracking and the kind of, I don't know. I think your awareness and your dodge generally is just so much easier to avoid moves when you're right next to a creature than when you're further away. Because by the time you see it and you roll away, it's too late. Like here, easier. Because I'm so much closer. But when I'm further away, by the time I see it and trying to time the dodge, yeah, I'm asking too much of myself there. Are we going to get a stun? That would be phenomenal if we can get a stun with this many guys up. Come on. Oh, no. I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. Oh, and that whirlwind has just eaten about 4 or 5 of us. You can see here, we got one lad left for the end of the stun there. See, yeah. A little bit too far away and also clips on the edge of the arena, so much better just to get close up and personal. Now this part I think is going to be really bad for us, although there's not too much left to go. Unfortunately, we are completely out of health potions. That's my helpful editor, which is also me, by the way, has pointed out. Oof. Oh wow, that looks so cool. Skeletal absolutely destroyed. Oh nice. That was pretty good. Never really understand the end of that fight. I tell you what is really interesting, another thing I learned in the speed run, is that because Jamanra has still got a little bit of health there, any kind of increased rarity of magic find doesn't apply, which I thought was quite interesting. So my next recommendation is As Above, So Below. Set in like the Parisian catacombs. It stars Perdita Weeks, who should be Tomb Raider, by the way. She's probably a bit too old now, but it's an incredible movie. And the setting is just, dude, it's a horror movie. It's really, really well done. I don't know why I've never heard of it before. Go and watch it and realize immediately that yes, she should be Tomb Raider. Immediately, from her talking, she sounds so much like Lara Croft should do. But anyway, look, we're into Act 3 now. We're finally unlocking our Ascension. Crystalline Factory there. I've got a great little sapphire going in there. The main aspect there is the 15% increased damage to minions, which is doubled thanks to that. So Unfortunately, it's only kind of additive. A lot of the stats are actually additive, which I've only really recently realised. Anyway, let's get excited by challenging ourselves against... We're very anti-Druid, I've got to say. Feels like yet another Druid. Root Dredge should be pretty straightforward, right? He's taking, he's taking a decent amount of damage. The only drama is going to be if I mess up and get hit by some of these explodey boys, which is very easily done because I don't concentrate very much. I like to see what's going on in different parts of the map, but then suddenly you get snuck up on by one of those bad boys. I think actually one-on-one fights, my guys have got this very comfortably now. I'm not a great fan of Root Dredge repositioning though. It's going to be much harder for me to get my lads in position. Definitely, I think, need to get the old vulnerability curse up there. 268 at this point isn't really doing a huge amount. I think it does scale pretty efficiently. So when we get the new skill gems in this act, we'll be laughing. Looks like Root Dredge is about to get stunned as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I love it when it happens like during a pretty epic move. I mean, it looks like he's still able to cast those little... I don't know what you'd call them, crush dudes. I love this area for the fact that all the zombies kind of come out of the marshes constantly. I would like it if you kind of got down to a very narrow path and there was just suddenly like 300 of them though. Wouldn't that be cool? It's nice to have like, 20. But come on. The effect of 200. And like completely filling the bottom of the screen so you couldn't even go back either. That'd be so cool. Like, I don't think I've ever actually really had a look at these little huts before on the route. But yeah, they look really cool. I'm trying to think actually. No, a lot of it I get a little bit confused because I know you go back in time at a certain point. Spoilers. Oh my god, what is that little effigy outside? But it's a very cute little area here. I mean, it's very poorly maintained. I'm looking forward to absolutely just ruining this brunch. Yeah, nice. I think we're actually doing very solid damage now. It feels like we're slightly overpowered for this point. I actually thought this would be so tough, by the way. One of the reasons I chose like Rattling Sceptre only is I thought this would be so difficult. But part of me is maybe slightly worried that I understand the game well enough now that it's never going to be too... I mean, that's rubbish. It is still a difficult game. I can prove that by the next run I've tried, where I've really struggled. And that feels a little bit more of like, oh, this should just be a viable skill. But... oh, Lesser Jeweler's Orb as well. I actually don't know if that's an automatic drop, but that's cool. And look, I just found this. Cheeky little bit of extra spirit. I mean, it's not a huge amount more, another 14 or so, but it is another minion. Just go with it. And is it worth using Exalt? I mean, to be honest, there's no great harm. Okay, it's kind of worked out. A little bit of extra rarity. Now, Feeding Frenzy seems like a no-brainer. Now we've got our extra slot. We've actually got quite a few here. Maybe I should have done this a little bit earlier. But I realised, of course, that I can't actually use that on my Rattling Sceptre. And this is so cool. I've only ever seen this once before. I don't know what the kind of modifier is. I think it might be hunted by the ancient Serpent. Right, but it's so cool. It's like Dr. Octopus theme. I was on my way actually to find everyone's favourite giant gorilla boy. I mean, this camp is not going to last against the giant gorilla boy, I can tell you that. It's quite cool though. I love the idea of like making a camp out of ruins. I started playing Nightingale, which is a game that nobody's ever talks about. It's really good. I'm really surprised. I mean, it's not really my channel stuff, but I don't really care about that too much. I'll do what I want. But yeah, it is really, really solid game. And actually, like, being able to build in ruins is something you can quite easily do in that game. You've only like scratched the surface, but really like it. Let me know if you want me to play something like that on the channel, because I'm always interested in you know, people having recommendations of interesting games. I'm less worried about being successful. I'm more worried about just doing things we want to do, right? Having fun. Keeping our clothes on. Mighty Silver Fists, what the meme fight. I've criticised this heavily. I mean, mainly because I died about 5 or 6 times when I do my punch only run. It was so unpleasant. Actually, on earth did I do this guy with thorns? I suppose most of his normal attacks he'd get through, yeah. It's just that instant kill hit, which I think is just stupid having an instant kill attack, but there you go. You should be able to mitigate it. Oh, look at this. Doing a little schizo wobble there. Doesn't seem to be too bothered by me. Oh, I got some absolute crunching attacks though. Absolute bone meal production right now. Whoa, yeah, and that would be a death. I mean, to think you can do over 1,000 damage in one go. I don't know if anyone has actually. I seem to remember reading it before because I was so cross. I was like, right, how many hit points do I need to just be able to tank this once? And it was, I think people were doing like 4,000 or 5,000 and still getting one shot by him. So yeah, I mean, he's... Oh, God, absolute crunch there. That is awesome. Yeah, it's fine when it's someone else. It's just really boring when it's you. Unfortunately, my guys seem to be respawning just in time for him to do the move again. So we're not really able to do as much damage as I'd like to. Yeah, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 being killed each time. Nice. Very cool death, by the way. Very, very much worth it. And let's see what he was reading. So let's just shoot up here. I want to try and get to that gem slot, that jewel socket ASAP. I've unspec'd a little bit, by the way. That's why I've got so many more points here. There's a few different options here. Temporary minions. Nah, we're not going to be doing that. Let's head right up. We've got that jewel socket now to play with. Let's try and... Oh, which one should we choose? There's actually quite a lot here when I search for minion. Some of them are pretty good. I mean, there's 12% damage there. The one I've ended up going for is this one here. So extra life... No, not that one. Hold on. 15% increased damage again. I mean, there's curse duration there, which is just a nice to have, but a lot of the rest of it's a bit pointless. But 15% increased minion damage, and then there's a little bit of extra curse duration there, which is going to help us along. And it's just a shame that damage is additive rather than cumulative. Oh, what is going here? Whoa, okay, this is cool. Let's get stuck in. We need to just oh, I've really put myself in a bad spot there. Yeah, this is cool. What a terrible arena to be fighting a boss like this. Very cool, though. Really gives me Duriel vibes, which I very much approve of. Oh, an Ox Idol as well. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Okay, so it's like a... okay, that's cool. That's interesting. That block chance is pretty good. I imagine there's a greater Ox... The problem with a lot of this stuff in this game is like... I can get an Ox Idol, great. There's probably a greater one. There's probably like an exalted one. There's, you know, and by the time you're like, oh, I could use that, there's no point. Because you want to be getting your stuff for the end game at some point. Well, as soon as possible, really, anyway. And I wish block chance was actual block chance. Not like 10% more of the block chance you have. Anyway, let's talk about Ignaduk, the Bog Witch. It's going to be kind of Skelly Bones versus Skelly Bones here. I'm guessing these are skeleton bones. This is probably a little bit gimmicky to most people, but I actually quite like it. I do wish it was a little bit more like a very dangerous hit every time she charged you. I'm assuming it's a woman, by the way. That might be unfair. And actually, the damage is... well, it was enough to basically kill most of my dudes there. Fortunately, like, you get quite a lot of downtime in these fights to be able to regenerate energy shield. It's not a huge part of my build, energy shield. I actually think energy shield is a very decent thing just to have in this kind of ratio, like maybe 20-30% of your total kind of health pool being reserved as energy shield, I think is really good. I think actually it helps your survivability overall. Whoa, okay. Yeah, I need to be a little bit careful. I've already quaffed quite a bit of my red soup. Nice. We don't seem to be doing a huge amount of damage. Okay, it looks like we're going to get stunned soon as well. Hopefully we'll get that before. Yeah, nice. Excellent. And we got the totem up as well. We don't have the mana, unfortunately, for vulnerability, so we couldn't do maybe as much as we would have liked to have done in that little spot. But that's a very, very decent amount of progress. Cool little fight, this. Well, I need to be a bit careful as well, because that has been a one-shot in previous runs before. That little alleyway. Nice. Very solid. And this is a very decent reward for us as well. Ignore the ghastly spear. I'm after that gemrot skull. 30 extra. I mean, that's decent. I mean, it might not be more than one extra skelly boy. And actually, we've got 14 left, so we're not too far off. We only need, what, another 4? So we skip through Poison Plant Land, as it's known. We're up against Xalucian. I said that quite confidently. I'm not quite sure. And unfortunately, Xalucian is very good at one-shotting all of my Skelly boys. And now we have to endure... Oh, my goodness me. Come on. Okay, it looks like he's immediately jumped off that platform, which is good. I'm back it again. Dodging my curse. Yeah, this is going to be a long fight, unfortunately. I think we are... Yeah, I mean, that even the cold attack there. Wow, that looks so cool. Brittle bones. That is so cool. Yeah, I think we just need to be... Well, we just need to be patient with this one, unfortunately. Every time he lands, he's going to do an attack that's pretty much going to one-shot everyone that I've got on the squad. Wow, that looked cool as well, that fireball. Just seeing that skeleton. I'd love a game where... I mean, point this out if there's such a game. Where you're a necromancer, but you can really customize every single one of your, like, minions. Like, equipment would be... Actually, it's a solid idea for a game, by the way. Every single little minion can be, like... You can change your equipment, what they're wearing. Maybe a bit like kind of Skyrim-esque. Skyrim-esque, like Elder Scrolls type equipment, like different helms and stuff like that. And different skills. Mountain Blade is a bit like that, I suppose. Anyway, Xalucian. There's no more. Let's watch this awesome bomb of a head. That is so cool. Now we're in what feels like the most traditional dungeon. I actually really don't like this area, by the way. I think this is one of those other areas they could just get rid of. Get rid. I mean, Alva to me is a bit of a... Well, we all think she's annoying, right? Oh, that's cool as well. It looks awesome. And I wasted... I mean, talking about someone who doesn't really love this area, I wasted... But I just thought, maybe the reward from that is going to be really good. It wasn't. And I'm actually going to do the Chamber of the Remnant. Normally I come back and do this, but I'm going to do it now. Again, it means I have to spend a little bit longer here fighting this Saurus warrior. What are they called now? Seraphon? I prefer the old world Warhammer, I'll be honest. Well, I'm guessing that's what they call it in the new old world, but I prefer actual world. Well, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Those that know, know. And to be honest, there'll be very few of you, because I'm not explaining it very well. But anyway, I've mentioned before that he looks like a Warhammer model, and that's what I'm referring to. He doesn't seem to be going too badly. I mean, I am maybe a little bit concerned about some of his attacks. I mean, that one, for instance. I mean, we have very decent fire resist, so it's not the worst. I am a little bit concerned I'm going to get one shot. especially because I love getting hit by almost every attack. Whoa, okay, yeah, we need to be a little bit careful. Okay, he's been stunned. That's embarrassing. So vulnerability, pillars up. Yeah, I mean, the damage is very, very decent. What's crazy is I'm doing what I consider to be quite a decent amount of damage, and I'm not really having to do very much to do it. Well, I just basically run around the arena and stay out of trouble. That's not easy for me, as you can tell by that particular maneuver. Yeah, I mean, the damage is definitely slowed with only half the squad in place. And it's even worse now. I think even with only 4 Skelly Boys, it's still worth getting that offering, the pillar offering up. Yeah, actually, I mean, we've gone to the new act, so maybe it's not quite as high as I thought. And look at this, throbbing member. This sums up the whole Alva storyline, right? One big throbbing member. It's just so... it's been placed there so purposefully. Let's have a look at this. So, oh wow, I mean, we are pretty far behind in the old Rattling Sceptre level here. So I think it might be worth just popping this guy on anyway. Just to get 2 more levels of our Skeleton Warriors. Oh, and we get a 3rd slot. So yeah, definitely well worth it. Love these little moats, by the way, in the air. Unfortunately, we get slowed down by Fleshbind. The Corrupted Abomination, one of the few bosses who hits me with every attack. I'm going to get killed. Well, I edit it sometimes to make it look like I'm maybe not as good at the game as I am, by the way. I don't want to maybe it's slightly self-depreciating. But this guy is the only guy who seems to know that I'm the person that's worth attacking. Everyone else is probably worth ignoring. These Skelly Boys he just ignores. But it is quite difficult to avoid the attacks when you're A, not concentrating very much, and B, one of the things that was happening during recording of this is Star Trek was leaving Netflix. So I had to really get through The Next Generation, and then I started watching Voyager as well, which is okay. I warmed to it. I actually think Voyager's got one of the best themes, by the way. Look at this. Wow, swag. That looks really cool. Yeah, Voyager's got one of the best themes. It's got some very, very decent characters. I only finished at the end of... I watched 2 seasons in a very short period of time. It was quite embarrassing, really, but it's gone now. So I'm released from the curse of having to watch as much Star Trek as I could. So he's furious at someone touching his member. So we are going to have to kill him. It doesn't seem fair. He's literally holding his member in like a cock ring. Not sure what to describe that. I just remember this fight being so difficult because of his energy shield with the thorns. It's fun. Like, when you've got a bit of a back catalogue of challenge runs, it's actually really, really good fun looking back and thinking of all the different challenges you have to go through. This was so difficult. And now, look, I'm just standing. I mean, I can probably get hit by these lasers and it'll be fine. I mean, in fairness, he has completely decimated my squad. Luckily, they're back. Can't imagine if they didn't respawn until after the fight. If they didn't respawn until after the fight and you had to re-equip a new Sceptre to get new guys, wow, that would be... What a run that would be. That's the kind of run I don't hate the idea of, by the way, because it's going to be such a good challenge. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm particularly good at any game, but I've got a mind. I put my mind to it. I don't mind trying a few times. Actually, not bad, you know. I shouldn't put myself down too much. So all we need to do is just put this throbbing member to good use. Put it in a playground. I don't know why I said that. That is dark. That went dark very quickly. Put it on display, anyway, in the local museum, outdoor museum. So we've used our 3rd slot, by the way. I don't think it was particularly exciting, so I think I just put that 15% increased attack speed. Death Laugh. Wow, imagine having a Death Laugh. I almost couldn't say it then. Solid bit of... We're just ramping up the damage now. That's not too bad. It's nice to be able to see. It's a shame I can't throw something over there, really. Love this area, by the way. I've got to say, one of my favourites. It makes the whole act kind of worthwhile when you get these really, really well... I mean, it's so well laid out. I don't think it's actually procedurally generated this. I think it is a static map. But it doesn't matter, because it's so good. Just really cool the way you like weave in and out. It doesn't ever feel like you're backtracking, but it also doesn't ever feel too weird. Like, oh, this is just pulling a lever and running to a new area. But it just feels like actually there's a really nice, solid progression. And Narek at this point... I mean, in fairness, she did cast a meteor at me. I did run in while she was having brunch. Well, that was... This is what happens when you learn one spell. Meteor. Dodge. That's it. And I'll tell you what, this really, like... I don't know what it is about things like this. I mean, I'm not a lover of that face there at all. But the drying of meat. I'd love to do some more survival. I need to just get out and do it. That's probably not the best advice. That little spear ended up there. But more importantly, someone dropped their very, very fancy wooden club. I mean, it's not very good. I think that causes double stun. Is that normal for this type of weapon? Reduced attack speed. I mean, that is dreadful. Maybe the stun is very good. Maybe like have it on a switch to stun and then switch to something else. Yeah, nailed it. Love these little cages as well. Now we've seen what Gary can do, it really has got me inspired to do a... The problem is it's such a high level. Why lock that at such a high level? I'd love to do a little gorilla only run. I actually feel like I've read before that the gorillas are one of the best minions you can have in your kind of retinue. But I want the little monkey boys that are in the cages. And I want 400 of them. And we could do a whole like Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes. You know, the ideas just come. You've seen one naturally occur. You could hear like the gears crank. And this is cool because we're going to see if we can see this on the other side. This whole area, I'm pretty certain we can see in some detail on the other side. Talking of seaweed, I mean, she'd actually be improved with some seaweed on her head. Anything good here? Wow, look at that. Okay. Calm down. That's very good. Yeah, I mean, probably worth just putting that on anyway. I mean, that, yeah, sorts us out. I really wasn't concentrating. I think this was when I was watching Chakotay on Star Trek Voyager in one of his many endless series. Like, it's almost like the whole series about him and his Native American heritage, and it all feels a little bit like... And I've since read the fact that that was all... some charlatan came up and pretended to be a Native American advisor. Absolute trite tripe, definitely. Look at this little guy here, just lounging back in a kind of semi-erotic pose here. But yeah, I'm glad we discovered this. Someone needed to see that particular fatty died in such an elegant style. And here we are, the Pool of Depravity. A legacy of incest and vulgarity. Oh, I didn't need to read that. Oh, gorgeous. I mean, she's going to get so infected. I mean, that's going to be a stomachache later as well. Okay, all I need to do is not get hit. I mean, the damage is ramping up very quickly. Look at that. 15,000 already. Could this be it? Could this be... Oh, I'm always so scared. It's so easy just to get, like, rolled into the corner and ruined. And we got a stun in. There's not got a huge amount of dudes in action for that stun. But we've since recovered. And that's not great placement for that curse. I've got to be careful not to roll over that curse. Oh, and there's another one right there as well. Immediately touch the curse. Oh god, that was really bad. I should have seen that going, by the way, once she did the kind of point at me. Whoa, okay, it's over. It's over. That was really stupid. I'm ashamed. Even little Gobbo there coming in.
Play miss. You messed up.
That's what it's like in Liverpool. Little naked children running around the streets. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I'm not talking about visiting Liverpool. It's a very nice place to visit, I've got to be honest. Oh, that's probably one of the weakest animations I've seen so far. I'm definitely putting that in the intro. And I just got strong suspicion that, given the way that gets put in there, that if you just press the button behind, then it probably would have opened the door. So I'm buying a Blistering Bond. The fire resistance is very cool. I lose a little bit of cold resistance. But the idea is also can't. I can't even barely talk. Sorry, guys. it's been a long one. I now don't take bleed damage. I just take fire damage. So it's a bit like just being ignited instead. But with 75 fire resist, should be laughing. Look at this little tryhard. I mean, I remember seeing this for the first time in Path of Exile 1 and thinking it looked incredibly cool. It does look good. I've got to say, it does look good. It looks maybe slightly lower resolution though. We're like, it does look cool. It does look cool. Maybe not worth the 50 quid or whatever you paid for it, but worth something. And now we all got to see it for free. My predictions for this fight, now we've got very decent fire resist, it should be over pretty quickly. I had such an issue with this guy the first time I fought him. It took me 15 minutes or so. It was really, really painful. I died. For whatever reason, my friend and I disconnected and I had to do the fight on my own. And it was so difficult. I was like a kind of semi-summoner, like using bone skills. It was awful. And now look at this. If I just had a decent Rattling Sceptre, this is how easy it would have been. Are we even going to see a second stage? You spent a lot of time summoning that just for it to disappear down the corner. And another one. Oh no, 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 not like this. Come on. We got him? We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Nice. Easily done. That was actually quite satisfying. Yeah, that ring is very cool. I've not seen it before, Blistering Pond. Stuff like that's very cool. Look at what is going on here. I'm guessing this is another... Oh my god, the timing. That looked cool. Is this guy just sticking around? Hello? Anyway, let's get into... let's go back to the future. Let's just go back to the back. See what things could have been like if we'd voted for Joe Biden. I shouldn't get political. People do get quite funny, actually. I mentioned something like something woke. I don't know, maybe like a... I don't know what, it was so stupid. I can't even remember the joke. It was like a vegan selling artisanal jams or something like that. And one person really didn't like that. It's quite... I understand why politics is polarizing, but time and a place, guys. It's very easy for people just to drag politics into everything as well. Or feel like they need to or want to. Just honestly, you've got to try. The older you get, you've got to try and just bring it into nothing at all. It makes everything so much easier in life. So I was just back there. I mean, for those people who actually care about the Path of Exile game I'm playing, just comparing the resistances that I've got. So the resistances are good, and they are shared, of course. I mean, this is going phenomenally well. I'm having such a difficult time with this fight in my next run. So to be at this point already is absolutely ridiculous. Whoa, I'm gonna die here, definitely. I actually hate this part of the fight, by the way. I just get hit like everything. I actually did pretty well then. Oh my goodness me, yeah. This is like I don't know what it is. It's almost like I've never done this fight before, but every time I watch myself play this, I'm like, oh, this is a really bad way of doing it, dude. This is so much easier than you're making it. At least the amount of damage we're doing is very decent. It looks like we've got a stun in as well, which is very nice. Fortunately, we don't have many guys to make the most of that. Seems to be a bit of a theme. Okay, we just got to dodge. Just keep dodging. Whoa, okay, and then we wait for the big one. Where is it? Where is it? And dodge. Yeah, okay, we got it. We nailed it. Unfortunately, that killed everyone. Everyone dear to me. We need a Gary, really, just to kind of survive. Oh, the damage is very decent. I mean, vulnerability now is up, reducing 565 armor. That is actually very cool. That's another stun. That is very, very big. Hopefully we can avoid another stage here. I mean, I think we're in the final kind of... The arena is as small as it's going to get. Yeah, solid. Solid effort, lads. Well done. Oh, nice. We've got a few little cheeky gems there as well. Some otherwise crap loot, by the way. And look, here's our statue from before, for those who are interested. I don't remember ever getting this before, but then I suddenly redawned on me, like, I don't remember this area at all. Oh my god, it's the Queen of Filth area. Yeah, dude, that is really cool. I mean, that actually looks really not very pleasant. Looks like oily water anyway. Gaunt Scrabbler there. God, that is a dreadful name, isn't it? I'm a little bit scared of these guys. The one thing that I was really, I'm not sure if I'll show it in this video, it might be in another run, is those guys when I think they're hasted, for whatever reason when they're hasted they can kind of teleport to you and attack almost immediately. It is very solid as a combination. About being a bad guy. Oh, look at this guy. What is that sound? I thought he was living his best life. He actually was. Fair play to him. Oh, what is that? That's a great soundbite, by the way. I'm going to do it for when I do the dagger. Have you looked at the dagger? I mean, I'm panicking a bit here. Have you looked at this dagger before? Lovely. Let's put it in. And summon a Chinese snore. I'm not sure that was loud enough, to be honest. Next time. I'll get you next time. So look at this little cheeky little number here. Necromantic Talisman. So my bonuses from my amulet don't apply to me, but apply to my minions. That could be pretty big. We're not getting a huge amount from this. I mean, even if we gave all my minions 65 life, that's pretty good. But there must be some way we can give them a huge damage boost by doing that. Not a huge amount for me to do here other than just dodge out of the way. The pillar didn't last very long there. Annoyingly, because I can't necessarily direct my guys, I'm just going to have to wait until they kill. I mean, the attacks of some of these guys are extremely cool. I'd really love to do a lightning build next. I think it looks amazing. But if you've got good ideas for builds, then please do let me know. I know it's like a bit like asking someone just to do a good idea, please, so I can do it. But I don't know the game nearly as well as you do, so I am flattering you, yeah. So what do we got here? Gary? I think I'm gonna have to, just because it is so much more efficient. He's so good for morale. And his mum did ask if we could look after him again, so let's have him in. Just to be extremely clear, it's not cheating, because he definitely is a hindrance. Now we've got... Oh, we could actually get that now. Let's not do it now, because I don't know... I think I'm probably going to need the life, to be honest. Oh, minions are gigantic. Gary is gigantic, but imagine him being gigantic. That would be pretty cool. Well, do you know, I actually may have seen Gary hit then, and it was pretty significant. Hopefully he's not going to make this too... I mean, do you want to see he's only attacking... Was that him? Gary, behave. Gary's been in the gym. I mean, he is taking a lot of time between attacks, but... Okay, maybe I didn't see him do very much then. He's not doing anything at all at this point. Oh, Gary, get stuck in. Here we go. Oosh. You can kind of see him when he attacks. And he missed then, but what I should really be doing is running around the arena and just triggering all those traps. Getting them out of the way. Maybe I could just do these two on this side. Nice. Yeah, I think that's the best way of doing this fight, to be honest, is just triggering those traps early. Dodge out of the way of that. Gary's back with us. We can kind of use Gary's health bar as an actual like test to see how much damage a lot of these are doing to the minions. Gary, I definitely saw a little bit of a chunk taken off there. Yeah, maybe Gary's making it. Well, look, guys, I'm not going to overstate it, but whatever happens, don't tell his mum that this is what we did. I think actually better to stay in the arena for that little bit there. Not sure. I mean, all of the guys are going to get hit by this. Actually, Gary, you can see there. Like a champ. He's definitely got that kind of special ed strength, if that's not unfair to say. I mean, it's not, because it's true. Oh, okay. Forgot about that little move. We should be close to a stun at some point as well. If we can get a whole load of guys in there and get the stun in. We got the stun? Yeah, we got the stun now. Nice. This is good. And I'm taking a lot of the aggro from the laser beam machine, the Dr. Robotnik machine. Yeah, I definitely did not do that properly because I got pretty badly shocked there, as you can see. Can we get I think literally every one of the minions gets hit by that. Here's where I'm at the highest chance of dying, by the way. Right at the very end of a fight. Nice. Very, very solid. Well done, Gary. The way he's kind of stuck in the table here. Oh, talking stuck in the table. Guys, come on. Give the man some respect. Gary's even turned his back. Oh my goodness me, that is dreadful. Oh, look at this. They're actually going for him as well. Could absolutely destroy him. Fight's over, guys. Love this little Fallout moment. And there we are. Now, look, what I'm going to talk about now is not a movie. I actually really want to talk about the skeleton soldier failed to defend the dungeon. It's so good. A mere skeleton soldier who basically gets levels up every time he dies, and then the next time is like it's the same world, but then he kind of like has to survive it, but with his new skills. So he gets killed like a blunt attack, and then he gets some blunt resistance, and then it happens again, and he still gets really badly injured, but he kind of survives it. It's like, how did he survive? But it's, I mean, why they haven't made a anime adaptation of it, I literally do not understand. I'm assuming the guy who wrote it is an absolute nut, something like that. But yeah, it's awesome. And I think you can read like a lot of it free, like the first part of it at least free online. So definitely go and check it out. It's one of the things that really got me into Isekai. Like, I know solo leveling is almost like the best version of it. And Rising of the Shard... I thought that was a banana there. By the way, that's why I got excited. Rising of the Shield Hero is also fantastic if you haven't seen that, by the way. There she is, doing God's work or doing the devil's work, depending on your view. Depends if you're on which end you're on. She's on. Which end? I'm move on. I was going to make a banana joke then, but it makes itself. So look, I've been recommended this in the past, the Rondel of Fragility. It's got two really, really solid stats. It's got a skill speed and increased damage. Now, what it does is reduce your resistances by quite a significant margin, 30%. However, their resistances are my resistances, and my resistances are very good. So this is like big brain, ultimate hack. I've done it. I've hacked the game. This is incredible. I'm pushing down this part of the tree. I kind of regret it, to be honest. There's a lot more life and there's regeneration per second. I know a lot of the resistances I'm getting, like chaos resistance, isn't going to apply to the Skelly boys. So I'm not undoing my big brain moment. But what I was a little bit frustrated with is the damage didn't seem to be that much better. And I'm pretty certain it's not calculating properly. They should be getting, because the amulet should be applying. And then I realized I didn't have it on. And I was like, it wasn't on. Okay, so resistances. We'll need to check their resistances are still okay. But literally, the attack's gone up by 50. Like a flat 50, not 50%, just 50 points. So 40% increased damage. It looks like it's just gone up by 47 points. So I'm not sure if that's calculating correctly. But someone, please feel free to correct me, because it's more likely to be a misunderstanding than they actually made a mistake. But I thought that was a really big brain move, and it's not really paid off. But I'm going to keep it because I thought it's about as big as my brain gets. Jason Bone now, level 44. That's a pretty decent level, to be honest. It maybe is a little bit behind where I should be at this point. I think level 45. Whoa! And that, my friends, is why you can never trust a turtle. Because I was like, turtles! And then I died. Look at this little... No wonder they chucked that off the boat. That is not handsome. And this, hopefully, this should be really, really quick. We should just get rid of Rage Teeth. Oh, man, what a fight this is. Always get a little bit disconcerted with how many arbalests were on this boat when it went down. I tell you what, an anchor that's also a crossbow, that is a Dark Souls weapon. That is really cool. Do you know, one of the things I should talk about this during a Dark Souls video, really. But I remember they had competitions when Dark Souls games were about to release. You could design your own items and then they put them into the game. I will definitely talk about that. I'm doing a Demon Souls run now. I'm about halfway through. So that should be out relatively soon. But yeah, I definitely want to do a Dark Souls 2 one, and I'll talk about that. So let's work our way through. I mean, look, this is extra life, extra damage. I actually really want this gigantism. I think will be quite good fun. Before we do that, however, we've got a salty sailor. Salty seaman. What's he doing? Is he putting his feet... He's putting his tentacle in there. We caught him. No wonder he's so cross. He's embarrassed. He had his tentacle right in there. It's kind of... I'm not going to go back and look at it again, but we're definitely having a look at that next time. Whoa, okay. Needs to be a little bit... So he is really cross with me, by the way. That is super embarrassing. I did not have my tentacle in the cannon. Well, you did, because we all saw it. This is very cool, by the way. This was my first, I think the first taste of Act 4 misery, because I found this boss quite difficult with the build I had. What would it have been? It may have even been punch only the first time I did Act 4, and this guy was tough. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be awful. But actually, as you can see, just get a Rattling Sceptre in your hand and then just stand about here. And this is the only attack you need to dodge. It would seem. I'm assuming an anchor's going to drop on my head just to teach me a lesson, but it did not. Let's do a little bit of crafting. This is level 46, so we might have to wait. Terrible. Even worse. Oh my goodness me. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, I'm not even going to sell it. Just stick it in the bin. That can only be worse if you get fined for littering. So what are we doing here? Extra life, extra lightning resist, extra chaos resistance. The reason why I'm able to show it like this, because I was so cross when I edited, that I didn't even hover over the new belt for more than 2 seconds at a time. It was really difficult to read. So apologies. I'm going to try and get a bit better at doing that. The gloves... I mean, I do need that cold resistance, actually. Without it, I would be within the negatives. I've got that negative resistance on my other ring, remember? Oh, the ring could be... Oh, I'll tell you what, it's the helm. We have got some really shoddy equipment. Just having a look at some of the other things this guy's got for sale. Interesting. But yeah, minion skills. we've got that cold resist we need as well. And it's pretty cheap, 7k at this point. I would like to have a little bit of a comparison of like exalts before I started the run and afterwards to make sure I'm about even. I don't want to be like, I just bought the best equipment and this is how it turned out. But I do like the fact that I can do things like spend money without having to be like, oh, I didn't pick up enough blues during this, because that's not fun for anyone, especially not me. I want to see if there's any dialogue here that gives her away.
It's been too long.
There's something about that that's a little bit creepy. It's been too long. I love the fact that the main character, the leech, is just so awful. She looks like the kind of girl who's like that, talks like that as well. And she calls her a crone at the very beginning. Crone. Old crone. Oh dear. We've been catfished. Yeah, let me know if you've got any ideas. This is one of the fights, for whatever got into my head, when I thought, well, if we try and do a no-hit like boss run, would this be an impossible one just because of how much goes on? I'm actually not sure. I mean, I've been a bit of an idiot getting hit by some stuff I shouldn't do. But I think the principle of a no-hit run would be you would need some like a Rattling Sceptre is not a bad shout. And I mean, would it be evasion just to hopefully dodge the attack completely? You'd also just need a huge amount of damage, because if you had enough damage, you wouldn't even need to worry. Yeah, I mean, this is actually very, very easy. It was so I have to do it. I have to do it to myself. Karnu. I really like Karnu as a character. He's cool. He's got a great voice actor. And yeah, it's a shame. It took me a while to realize that he was the guy who kind of portrays you at the end. Spoiler. But yeah, he's the kind of guy who, yeah, does what he thinks he needs to do. It doesn't work out. But it's cool that he's the guy that you kind of gets as attached as you can to a character in an ARPG. I just reminded. I mean, I should be laughing when I see someone being impaled by a great club. God, of all the things. Look at these guys. I always want to step on. Whoa. Okay, boys. We're having one of those nights, are we? Someone's been on the Stella already. It's a cool little just moment here. I think it's very cool. But I was laughing because I remembered that Decker Kane supposedly dies in what is it, Diablo 3? What are they doing? Who's like that? It's just been on a blackboard for too long. Oh, let's kill Decker Kane off. That'll be real like shock mode. It's like cartoon graphics. And at that point, we barely like know the guy. If you've you know, seriously, and you kill him off like, I can't believe it. Whoa, okay. It's a bit pinball here at the moment. It is a dreadful moment in otherwise. It's a good game, but it's a bit like an arcade game, fortunately. Diablo 3. Not a fan of the Scourge of the Skies. Quite happy to see all these babies get run over by myself. I'm also a bit reluctant just to do anything without super concentrating on everything that's happening. Nice little armor loss. Got the lads up. Bit difficult to get a totem up at this point, unfortunately. I've just got to be super vigilant. Are we going to get some mad move going on now? Yeah, this is the move we need to Oh, actually, no. Okay, we are just shooting ahead much faster than I thought we would. That's a move that can one-shot, definitely. This can easily, if I'm not dodging sufficiently, can easily one-shot us as well, or multi-shot us. So get that Plagueling back in, waste some time. We haven't seen his massive head smash really yet, have we? And that is the... Oh, whoa, and he got stunned during it. So what's going to happen to these spikes? They're just staying there by the looks of it. Plagueling's back out. Not an issue. Hopefully they're going to ignore it and just beat the bird. Come on, kill him. Is he dead? Yes. And look, surround that Plagueling. Glorious. Well, what a relief. That was as easy as I hoped. Let's rescue our man. And then, unfortunately, we've got to do some hard time for that murder. I don't normally come to this little, like, armament spot. It's the reason why. But I did like this little bookcase here. With all the, like, the armor. That's the thing. I want to be able to click on those. I want to be able to put them on one of my skelly boys. Let's completely interrupt this very unpopular sermon, by the way. I think I can probably just... yeah, this is actually super satisfying. Just stand up here. It's a weirdly, like, good reward, this one as well. For what could otherwise be quite skippable. But yeah, it's always worth getting the life. And we're gigantic. Oh, okay. I actually saw them grow there. That is cool. Well, they're on PEDs. You're on that trend. Still says I can get... Oh, there you go. Okay. Let's see how big Gary is, by the way. Does he look big? He does look very big. I can't remember if we used to come up... Can you stay still, please, Gary? Trying to get between his legs. He definitely looks big. He definitely looks like a big boy. He eats a lot. His mother always says. From Dim's Try the Shuffling. That is really, really embarrassing. That's such a sad... What I do really like, however, is his aura. It actually looks pretty cool. That, like, elemental resistance aura is very cool. I always like the idea of doing like an Auradin in the first game, but I could just never get far enough. Or really actually just make a viable build. It's just... I found Path of Exile 1 just so complicated to get into. The amount of planning that had to go into it before you even started, and I just thought, I just want to play the game. So I used to just like jump in and play the game, and then that would invariably go quite badly for me, of course, up to a certain point. You could always like embarrass your way into maps, and then when you got a little further into maps, you're like, actually, I need a viable build here. This is not much fun. Prisoner out. I mean, look, he's taking 50k damage already. We've probably taken about as much damage as well from incidental hits. I need to hang around these ballistas for good reason, right? Maybe just hang around between these two. This is not a great spot to be in here. Immediately destroy that. Okay, is that it? No, we need to be careful. It's soon. I actually don't know. I should just look at the breakpoints before we get to this point. This would be a really bad spot. Now, I'll get perfect. That timing. So he barely got any health back. You can see if you're quick enough, he just doesn't get a chance to regenerate too much. We've stunned him. Have we stunned him? I think we have. You just do a little bit of a Morpheus kind of bring it on. Embarrassing. So this stage is fine. We're okay with this. We need to be a little bit careful of those stabby attacks, but they are pretty well telegraphed. I mean, you say that, I'm going to get hit by everyone, but... He seems to be wasting a lot of time as well, doing some of these silly moves. I'm never sure where to stand for that, by the way. This would be a really bad... No, this is really bad. Ballista? Hello? Is he stunned? Okay, I think we stunned him at a certain point. He's still stunned. There goes the little, like... What? Hello? Oh my god, that is it. That's the way to do it. We've worked it out. All we need to do is perfectly time... What is that arm doing there? That's horrid. All we need to do is perfectly time the stun. And you can completely avoid the final stage. That is what cool thing to find out. And I thought I'd have a little bit of a moment on these docks. because I know you haven't. See what's going on here. It's actually a very cute little homestead here. I mean, if you found the perfect stick that perfectly fit between the skull that you'd collected on the beach, then you put it on the side of your home, wouldn't you? And look here, the natives. I mean, not really giving them much of a chance to say hello there. Innocently mining. I mean, I don't think they've actually attacked us once at that point. We're British. I started watching Zulu the other day. Probably best not to get me started on that movie. It is very good, by the way. But it is certainly of an era. There's a national pride that now is a heavy source of shame, or should be an accepted source of popular shame. So I'm not sure. Maybe once before I've hit that little totem kind of rock and had this absolute nonsense go on, but can't say I particularly remember it. Giant voltaic erection that we've ended up caressing incorrectly. This little drummer as well is pretty cool. And the Zulu massacre is complete there. Unfortunately, I feel perpetually compelled to go into this little arena here, even though I am adamant this is the worst fight in the game. It's so boring. Okay, he's blind. He's a blind beast. So if I stand still, he should just thrush around without knowing where I am. But he knows exactly where I am all of the time. And it's just stupid as a result. And he's got really boring attacks. He's stunned already. I mean, I'm stunned that this got through the sensors, right? Really boring. Yeah, I'm actually going to skip it. But the problem is he dropped a Divine Orb once before, so now we feel like we have to do this. Artificers all... Okay. Never mind. I'm actually going to go for a little bit of energy shield here. I mean, don't hate me for this, but there's a few little nodes there. I don't really need any more damage. Poison Slash, they're just chilling out on a rock. Just nothing we can do other than just shout insults at him. Might be worth just skipping. Well, let's just go and find him. Let's go and grab him. Luckily, the boys just teleport to me. Poison Slash there looks very similar to the Blind Beast as well. Maybe less exciting attacks. I didn't think this fight was particularly interesting, but what I did like is the little magma guys to the right. I suddenly realised, are they having a little watch? Having a little bit of a watch party. Look at this hot date they're on. Look, just watching their friend get massacred. Cheering on. What is this? Why is that so loud? Why is that so good? 2 charm slots. Well, that's why it's so good. I immediately sold it for, wow, 24 Varlobs. I'm not going to do anything with those, but another little indigenous camp there, ravaged. And maybe just with another level up, just see what we get up to. Yeah, I mean, it's only 12 for each 10 that we're getting. But it will improve exponentially. Brugtog, I'm not sure. I'm a little bit concerned. I've got a feeling the stomp attack is going to be horrific. And if it kills the skeletons and targets me, then we could be in some real trouble. We've got very decent life and shield at this point. Energy shield looking very good. He's taken some pretty solid damage as well. But look at that, we've done almost 80,000. We've only just started. I saw a video of, can't remember exactly whose it was, but the damage was so insane. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like 9 million damage in about 2 seconds. In maybe less than a second, he did 9 million damage. I was like, oh, that's me getting excited about doing 1,000 a second. Yeah, there's levels to this game which I'm not quite at. My problem is I just got such a short attention span. Okay, calm down, Crew Talk. be great if you could capture the essence of the boss, and it would cost like 500 spirit or something mad. But then you could summon the boss, and then you could get the bosses like they do in the videos. Get the boss to fight another boss. That would be really cool. Definitely not finding this as easy as I wanted to. I'm pretty much drinking every time I get hit just because I don't want to get one shot. We're looking a little lower on the old tomato soup than usual. It looks like at this point we should get a stun in, and then we can just enjoy ourselves, right? Nice. Very solid. Lovely. Lovely. He looks got some very sharp teeth as well by the looks of it. That must be a nightmare to brush. Death Killer the Cunning I thought was a really, really good name for just a little crab boy. Oh, actually, you say, guy's been to the gym. Pretty tough. I've got a real weakness to crustaceans and turtles by the looks of it. They just distract me too much. I'm always a little bit annoyed with Claw Crunch, the fact that he killed me in one video and then never came back. I feel like I need to avenge. I'm guessing it's Liam Neeson, but not sure. I forget really how few Path of Exile 2 videos I've done. Feels like I've put in a lot of time and energy and effort. I've only done about 3 videos. Here we go. Feeding Frenzy there. We'll put the old Feeding Frenzy on Gary, and then we'll put the new one. So it's deal damage, deal a lot more damage, but of course we take a little bit more damage. That doesn't seem to be an issue. Loving this little scene here, by the way. I'd love to know what ideas they've got knocking around for the new acts. Whoever designed this fight, hopefully, is not in charge. That might be unfair, but yeah, I'm really not a fan of this fight. I think it's absolutely terrible. I just think it's gimmicky, the arena as well. I think it's really just cheesy. The whole, like, I don't know, Skull Mountain type thing. I mean, I thought it was cool when it was Mighty Max, but when you have like what is this arena with like a shark creature? I don't like it. They should do it like the crab boss that they had. Was it Crab from Path of Exile 1, where the whole arena becomes like a underwater almost? It was that first time I did that was terrifying, and I found it so difficult. I used to think hardcore was impossible, because how on earth are you meant to get through a fight like that without dying? It was so tough. But this like arena should be like filling up with water or so. I don't know. It needs something more. Well, here's the way to do it anyway. But I can't wait to see what they're cooking up for the other acts, by the way. I really hope there's some just awesome stuff. I want to have like a town you can design, stuff like that. I know a lot of people like their hideouts. I mean, I've never really got into the hideouts because so much of it's paid for. Oh, she looks lovely. Hi, excuse me. My mate really likes you. Oh dear. She's taking her makeup off. It's not looking good. Am I going to get hit by every single attack here? No. Of course not. Oof, that looked pretty nasty. Annoying with this part is the whole energy shield coming back. Also not super easy to dodge attacks, I find, with this particular boss. The real dream would be if we can stop the second cycle of her like song. I'm in the middle of the arena and now I'm singing, because that is just, it's a real time sink. It looks awesome, by the way. That looks super cool. I actually think we could probably stick around and kill a lot of stuff. My claim to fame, as it should be hopefully for nearly everyone, is I've never been hit by whatever like siren type gaze, Medusa like stare. I'm not really sure exactly what happens when you get into that aura, whether it's like a damage over time. I hope it's an instant kill, but I've never been hit by it, and I never will. Oh, nice little swag walk there. I do really like this area, though. I think it looks awesome. I think this is the hideout of choice, right? For the discerning gentleman. A little bit damp. I'm just going to leave that there. A little bit damp. A little bit too damp. Keeps the house prices down. Yeah, Energy Shield actually gets knocked down very quickly, so she's only really got a few thousand. Getting hit by every single one of those pillars. Never seemed to be an issue before. Oh, are you serious? So I'm going to skip the second cycle, by the way. I'm going to save everyone the misery. So there's an whole other cycle and literally nothing happened other than me running around a few times. Here we go again. Great. Let's run around again. At least this one's a little bit more exciting because you've got some extra creatures and extra madness. Yeah, the problem is my guys are getting a little bit caught up there with all those other ladies. This should be the end now. I think we've gone through enough cycles. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of that fight. I do quite like the idea of it, but I don't like the whole forced cycle, can't do any damage kind of stage. But who cares? It's over and done with. It looks very cool as well. Now, this area I can get into. Look at this house. I've seen a house recently and it's really made me upset because I really like it, but it's about £200,000 more than I can ever afford, so sad. So sad. So if anyone wants to donate, well, based on YouTube's cut, if anyone wants to donate 400,000 to this video, that'd be really nice. They'd actually probably just email me and do a bank transfer, but I don't deserve it. Just keep it for yourself, your loved ones. Put it into a good cause. But yeah, man, I would love to have a new house. Just be nice to have a proper room with an office in that I can record. Rather than being in my front room now, getting distracted by Voyager on television, and so on. I'm a bit worried that my Skelly boys aren't going to be able to knock their way out of this. They should auto-attack. One of them seems to be outside the bubble. Nah, they're too hyper-aggressive. I don't know why for the first time just the idea of all my skeletons being from Liverpool. Why has that just occurred to me? Got me, Sabis. That's a Liverpool accent, in case you weren't sure. Hold up, look at that door. Check it out. What is that? That is not the height of a man. What is it? 7.5 heads you should be? He is not. Maybe the hair is obscuring, but that is a weird man-child who owns that house. It would take a man-child to draw a picture of himself outside of the house as well. Unless there's some, like, derogatory graffiti that someone's done. Loving the sea here, by the way. Little, like, lavender fields. What is going on? There's some really weird artifacting going on. Some scaly boy. I'm going to have to keep running in the hopes it keeps happening. Ah, the bell. Solid reward, that. So good. What a great act. Great area as well. The lavender line slopes. Little John Woo moment there, for those who caught it. Torvian. Again, I don't love Torvian. I think the design is not great. As in the character design, I think looks a bit... It doesn't really fit with the rest of the game. The fight itself, I think, is actually pretty cool. But I'm not 100% sure why these guys... I think these guys should be down in the arena. And you should, like, just lure him into... I'm not gonna make this fight any better. I don't know what I'm talking about. For some reason, I feel like I know how to do this better than the people who've designed games all their lives and have made this fantastic game. Ignore me. The game's fantastic. Torvian is brilliant. I love this fight. It's super cool. There you go. That's the kind of stuff you want to hear from people, isn't it? Torvian looks like he's in a little bit of trouble there as well. He absolutely railed. Unfortunately, he does seem to be getting... He's not strong enough to throw his rocks this far. Okay, so you can actually see the buffs at the top. I've never noticed that before. Maybe if it lasts long enough. He seemed to have 2 there, and only 1 rock got thrown, and he lost them both. So maybe I don't know, the buffs get better over time. I don't think this fight's going to go on long enough for us to really be able to find out. Here he is again. I feel like I've barely seen him this fight. I mean, I'm just on the other side of the arena. What's going on? Oh, can we see the guy? Oh, they just seem to die. The ads. Oh, and a solid little... unfortunately, I don't have a scroll on me. Solar amulet there. I mean, I forgot what we were doing there, so it's not really going to be very helpful. Look at this vibrating shrine as well. So this is a replenishing shrine. Shrines seem to be really good in this game, by the way, so I'm going to put myself in harm's way. Maybe not that much harm's way. I didn't want to get hit by that meteor. But maybe we could just hang around here-ish. One of the best creatures in the game, by the way, that kind of like meteor summoning on top of their head creatures. Unfortunately, this is like we're getting snuck up on, by the way. This mad lad. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he's not anywhere near solid enough regeneration for me to put myself in any kind of danger. Benedictus. Purple definitely seems to be the colour of choice in this part of the world. First Torvian and now Benedictus. This is a cool fight. I know it is a little bit gimmicky, but in a really good way. I actually don't think he's got enough health. That's very rare for me to say. But he does seem quite weak, considering where he is in the game. This is like penultimate. I mean, look how much damage he's taken already. I mean, 50k and he's in trouble. He's getting absolutely railed, by the way. I mean, he's still taking some pretty decent damage even during this nonsense. Keep the curse going. Is he going to get stunned soon as well? Oh no, Benedictus. This is horrible. You've been absolutely calciumed. Calcium Conference. Got you. Got your number, mate. Oh, that is awful to watch. That should not be legal to watch. That many bones. Okay, one man being railed by that many bones. Incredible. I will not get bored of that. Please. Makoru, forgive me. Oh, Skeleton's all getting front row seats there. Almost like wanted to get sliced in the crotch there. That's Barry. Let's get blinded in the temple. We'll skip a lot of this dialogue here. We know it all too well at this point. Skeletons are so big and are really getting in the way. Are you there, Father? Behind the skeletons. Barry, out the way. Look at this golden charm. These are, in my opinion, pretty rare, by the way. But I might just hang on to it. I mean, I don't need any of these, to be honest. Am I going to get poisoned again? Maybe I'll put it in front of the lightning, because I've got decent lightning resist. We're coming dangerously close to the end of the video here as well. We've got this guy who, for whatever reason, seems to be pretty good. I think, again, he's one of those guys who just knows where I am and just... Or maybe he's got very fast attack when he... I don't know what it is. I seem to always get hit... I'm going to say it again. This is going to become a meme. For some reason, I keep getting hit by all of the enemies all of the time. It's the kind of thing I read on Reddit, by the way. That's why I don't read Reddit anymore. And I just feel like I'm a little bit out of the fight here. Maybe they could just bring it around the fence a little bit. Oh, there we go. And then, of course, everyone's like, yeah, all right. We'll come to your aid. But these really feel like Diablo 2, like fights in different areas, narrow corridors, and painfully slow fight. But actually, there's no corridor quite as narrow That's the Arcane Sanctuary. So actually, I would say the maggot lair is pretty grim. Some of those corners. My skellies seem to be incredibly good. I did a skeleton mage only run, which was very popular for some reason. I think it's because I changed my necromancer to a woman, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, I'll watch this." A woman, and I actually quite fancy doing that again, but just with skeletons. I think people are going to want me to do skeleton mage into nightmare. I don't hate the idea of doing that, to be honest, but. And look at this, unbelievably boring fight. This I'm just going to edit it through, save everyone. Oh, I mean, I've got to level up, so maybe I was unfair there. This is going to be big. 30% max energy shield. Where are we going to go to? 550? Nailed it. Probably don't need that much energy shield, to be honest. Look at this, +2 level 2 minion skills on a helmet. This was actually, I don't think I bought this. I think I found it. No, I must have bought it. Am I kidding myself? The stats are way too good. So that has definitely helped, because we're gigantic big boys now. We've got 17. I just wanted to point out, I'm not going to get to this point in the video, but the cackling hyena or cackling companion kind of hyena skill for this Hussig's Claw is very cool. But the minions deal 50% increased damage is insane. Plus you get 5% increased damage per minion as well, which is just ludicrous. So this would definitely be like, if we got to level 58, this would be like best in slot, I'm sure of it. And it may be fun to have a solitary hyena companion if that's possible. How many do we need to have? Oh, a two-horned Gary. I think we probably need to go in with a two-horned Gary. Unfortunately, we only have 13 guys and a two-horned Gary, but let's see how strong Gary is with +2 to minion skills. Enough! I wish the time for talk was over. Oh, a little Spider-Man move there. What's going on? I think. What is that? What is going on? Have they buffed this fight? Who was that? It looked like he summoned Radeen from Elden Ring. I'll let you look that up, those that know. But that was really unexpected. Little Spider-Man move, summon Radeen, and then just slash me and kill me. Incredible. I think part of the issue is this Spider-Man move. We've got to be a bit careful now. I can't really see where he is at any one point. It's very, very difficult to see, like, what? And again! Oh, there's Radeen. That looks cool. Lucky that stun, I think, might bring him to the point we need him to be at. I'm guessing 50% life will be it. I'm seeing some moves here I don't feel I've seen before. But that is, how can I punch this guy to death and have not have seen that? Summon Radeen move. That's cool. Oh, we're running out of time to get to the ultimate position here. It's very important I get run over here and for everything to fall on top of me. Okay, that's at this point that's tradition. Do I love this fight? You've not asked my opinion. I don't love it. It's very much like too much is going on at the same time. I'm not so bothered by anything in particular. You think about like the bird boss and how much I hate it, but it is to me a bit of a skill check, that boss. If you aren't doing the DPS, then you do actually need to dodge out of a lot of attacks and moves. Some of them are like, especially that bleed, like it's so difficult to dodge. You panic a lot of time. It's good. It is a good fight, even though I hate it, especially with the punch only. But with this fight, I'm never really sure what's going on. Like, am I bothered by any of this? If I stand in those, is it going to do that much? Where should I be for this? Like, it's not clear where I should be. Is this coming around? Do I now dodge in front? And then there's a lot of like, because it staggers so often. He's such an emo, isn't he? I do think this should be like, oh, I tell you what would be good is if they made it just a really sad fight. So you got past this bit, and then as the gods started to forsake him, like these pillars at the side or these totems started to collapse, and he just got more and more pathetic until at the end he's just like one muscly arm type guy. It was all a bit like, why? And then he'd actually have justification for his emo album. He's got some solid moves, I've got to say, but it all feels a little bit like just some random moves just put together. A bit like, you know, when you see Diablo 2 mods sometimes and they just put in loads of, I don't know, sometimes it just, to me, doesn't feel like it's curated properly as much as it just throw as much as possible in there. It looks like we've got him railed. Well, I was going to say for a moment we had him railed in the corner. That's not going to slow that man down. This looks like undodgeable, I'm guessing. I mean, was I supposed to be somewhere for that? Not super clear. And maybe I just need to... I mean, again, this... I'm just throwing in so many different things here. That volcano looks really good. They should just have a whole volcano round. There we go. That is the... That's the end. Look, most people just click off immediately. So I'm going to just quickly say, if you enjoy the video, then please subscribe. If you want to see Tavakai's emo album and how it's doing in the charts, then stick around. So one thing I decided to do, because I'm just a madman, is just to buy a really good Sceptre. Not a really good one, but a better one anyway. The view being really just to try and max out how many skeletons we could get. Because they are gigantic boys. And a 16 is annoyingly pretty much the most we can get. Let's despec from gigantic boys. And we got up to 20, which is super satisfying. Look at this. That's a real night out now. Attacks 700 to like, what, to 1300 damage. That is cool. That's solid. I thought people said minions were crap. But I've found this, I mean, look, maybe if you play a Deadeye, it's much better. But anyway, the really important thing is I can summon 4 Garys. Gary, Barry, Harry, and Larry. And that their DPS looks really good. It'd be so fun to like go into a PvP in this game with this as the build. But look, thank you so much for watching. We're going to try and cram everybody into this house and have a bit of a party. Subscribe, like I said, if you enjoyed, like the video. I love hearing your comments, so let me know. Thanks so much for joining me on that journey, and I hope to see you in the next one.